Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Algery out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brother and my sister from another mother, but we got the same father on with us this morning, and we high and happy, elephant, elated, and porcupine proud to be here in the midst of all of you. Welcome everybody that's coming in. We got people coming in already, and I'm glad to have you here. Share the broadcast, and please share the broadcast. And if you want to be a part, it's real simple. All you have to do is give us a call 508 924 3521. 508 924-3521. People say I say the number too fast sometimes, so I just wanted to slow it down just a little bit. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this: if I'm saying the number too fast, that means y'all listening too slow. So speed up your listening. Speed up your listening. Cookie, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, beloved. I am well. How are you?
Hey, high and happy. I'm high and happy. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. We got a guest today too. That's gonna come on about the 8:30 hours, somewhere in that time frame. So I'm happy to have that guest on with us. It's gonna be very interesting. To Salt. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? To Salt.
I'm listening slow. I'm sorry. Good morning.
I got y'all wonder what's going on. I'm like, wait a minute now, hold on now. He one of them slow listeners over there. He rolled on that bus. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Now let me ask y'all this question. Oh, hold on. Got somebody else want to greet them as well. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Another blessed day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And what y'all got going on for the weekend? Anybody got any great plans for the weekend before we kick this thing off? What we got going on this weekend? Anybody? Talk to me.
Yes, I have a little day trip planned. I am going to. There is something in Georgia called a pickleball mall.
Okay.
It is an indoor facility.
Mhm.
It has three indoor.
Okay. No, no. Where's this at?
It's in Macon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called Pickleball Mall of Georgia.
Now, now, now,
Uh-oh.
now. See, you heard two songs say her oak, or he know what that means. I love me some
Keep
pickleball now.
going.
I love me some pickleball now. Yes, Lord. That's my gap. I try to, it's been cold now. They got another indoor over here at the Mall of Georgia and a couple other places. And pickleball, that's my thing there, man. I love me some pickleball. Look here, I'm gonna go on and put the challenge out there. Since I beat you in pickleball. I believe I'm gonna say it again. She ain't heard me. I believe I beat you in pickleball.
Listen, it's your show. So on your show, you can say whatever you want.
Okay, okay,
Doesn't make it so.
uh, okay. All right, now, all right. Now we get out there. It's a whole different thing. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna take it easy on you.
Listen, you don't have to. But
Uh,
just listen, be mindful of your shoes, because I do believe in smashing.
ooh, Leonard, she
I
talking.
ain't feet.
Oh,
She talking.
I'm already betting on her.
See that?
You
See,
should.
see,
I
base,
don't pay bet on a black woman. Oh, wait.
golly.
basically what you're saying, Leonard. You already telling me that you got some money to give away.
I'm like I said, I'll put it on her because she the one that mentioned it, and we know
Okay.
you always threatening folks.
Oh, okay. Well, look at my thing is, we gonna set this up. We're gonna get out there. We're gonna play pickleball, and we're gonna
I
be a
believe
one
that
on one.
young lady will beat you to like you stole something.
And you know what? If she do, she gonna come on here and tell. And I'm gonna tell you why I can't. I'm gonna tell you why I can't let her win. Because if she do, she gonna come on here. She gonna tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
She gonna talk. She
So,
gonna talk
so
about it.
you telling us you're going to cheat. I understand. I got it.
No,
I
no,
got it.
no. I'm just gonna make. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm just gonna make sure that the final score is in my favor. That's all I'm gonna
I
do.
think that's the same as cheating, sir.
I'm gonna make sure the final score is in my favor. It's gonna be a good game. We're gonna definitely enjoy it.
But isn't that the white way? Why would you do that?
You say the right. Watch it. Watch this. You say the right way. I
No,
know what
he
you said.
White.
I know what you said. I know what you said. But see, and that leads into what I want to talk about right now. because everybody had, we set it up. Good morning, Mr. Hicks. How you doing this morning, sir? Sports. Let me ask you something. What is sports? Is it competition or camaraderie?
Both.
Is it
Camaraderie for players. It leads to camaraderie for spectators amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's a competition.
Mm-hmm. What is it more of?
I believe it's the winning that's important to most people. It's to be able to win.
But see, and that's true. But where did this thing come from? Where did this thing come from? Where you just have fun, just enjoy playing the game. It ain't all about winning. Is that a lie?
Well, it's not all about winning,
Mm.
but that's why you play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe you should play if you don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly. Mm. Let me go to Cookie. Is sports camaraderie or is it competition?
It's definitely competition.
Mm-hmm.
You can take the nicest person in the world, like yourself, Raheem.
Yes.
Very nice gentleman.
Thank you.
Very cultured, refined, just a nice person.
Thank you.
Put you on a pickleball court, and you turn into somebody else.
Yes, Lord.
It's definitely competition.
Yes, Lord. Wants to. Weeze wants to win. Weeze wants to win, and that's it. Well, go ahead, sis. You got a point though.
I mean, I think that has to do with isn't that how men function in life? Sometimes they want to make sure where they are in the pecking order. They want to be the best. That's part of your ego, I guess.
Mm.
So of course that should translate to sports. You want to be the best, so it's about competition.
So do women
How
have?
can someone take pride in something unless they feel like they are the best?
Do women have the same ego?
I think women can when it comes to whatever it is that they cherish about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some women think that they're the best cooks. Some women think that they do the best hair. I think there's a little competition in everybody, but when it comes to sports, it has that added element of testosterone that makes it very competitive.
But it's more important. It's more important just to play the game and to participate and to be out there amongst your peers and playing. It's not all about winning. That's what you tell the team that don't win. You never tell the team to win.
I'm about to say that you're reading that off a cue card, aren't you? Because that's not what you believe. You just said there is no way that you would allow me to win.
Well, because
you would not have me come back here and tell people that I beat you.
Doesn't
that say it all?
Well,
it's
watch
about
this.
Competition.
Well, watch this. I'm about to do a little slight gut uppercut at you. If you do win, it's because I allowed you to win.
Yes, and that's propaganda right there, sir. That's what we call that, propaganda.
Okay. Let them know that soaking it all in, because if for whatever reason you were to win, I ain't gonna hear the end of that joker right there and that doggone Tucson. Oh Lord, how much we ain't gonna say.
But here's the thing, though. See, this is the difference. You wouldn't hear it from me. See, that's the difference in men and women. I wouldn't bring it back up. My point would be proven. No harm, no foul. I don't have to bring it back up. Tucson, however, he lives on the island of Petty. So you will definitely hear it again.
God,
Tucson, you live on the island of Petty. Wow.
What you say?
Go ahead, Tucson.
Now, how in the world do you throw a right hand uppercut and a Superman left hand punch at the same time?
It just happened. How'd it feel?
I think it must be ego, because I think more so my feelings are hurt more.
Oh, she threw that one out, and Tucson. My thing is, had she hesitated a little bit before she said it, it might have.
She didn't wait.
No. She came right at you, brother.
She just stutter, nothing. She just spit it out like, pouring water on a drowning man. You remember that, Leonard?
Wow.
Pouring water on a drowning man. Who wrote that song? Oh my God.
Well, Tucson, let me ask you a question though. I'm just a question to ask you, brother. You know, don't. I'm just asking the questions. Did she have a point?
She got a point. Let me tell you what. Yeah, for real. I mean, really. I used to. Man, look. If I was kind of slow, not in the head, but when I was running, but I would do anything to get faster.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave track practice and run around the town. And I would talk to somebody and they say, I'm gonna beat you next week. I say, I meet you on the track. See you at the finish line. Talk. I wasn't talking to trash. And I listen to y'all. And I beat doggone on the island of Petty.
You can't get past that one. You can't get past. You know that's a new one.
No, Leonard, that'll preach.
She hit you, brother. She hit you.
Ooh, boy.
She hit you. And you look. She hit you. She hit you in the way.
You sharp. I thought I was a quick thinker.
That's an old song.
Hey, Tucson. Let me say this to you. She hit you in a way that you don't even have a way. You're not even in a position or mindset to come back. She took all the fight out you, man.
I can't say nothing. Because she might be right.
Might.
Of course
I'm have
right.
to check my. Oh, doggone it! Look at come back.
Listen,
She going for the encore.
Mm-hmm.
I love you no less for it. You are who you are. We love you just
Yeah.
like you.
There you go.
Look, she said with your petty self.
You know what? That sounds like she did me like my daddy used to do. He was an expert chastiser. And then after you cry, they cry when you don't make no noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll come back and say, you know, I love you. So you gotta be kidding me.
Hey, Tucson, my heart hurts for you, brother. My heart hurts for you. And I'm gonna tell you something. Mr. Hicks' heart hurt for you too. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, brothers.
Did you feel that? Did you feel that, Mr. Hicks? Did you feel it too? It wasn't directed at you, but did you feel it?
Yeah, I felt that. It's typical of our sisters, how they measure us. It's yeah. I never really liked sports. I was 6'3" when I was in the 11th grade, and the basketball coach for high school was always trying to recruit me because I had game. I would play with the players on the courts and stuff, but I just couldn't get with them coaches how they talk to folks and how so I opted out for wrestling. I wrestled for 4 years, and after that I got into a lot of one-on-one sports where it's all on me, I'd say mano a mano kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
is that a part of that male machismo that she's talking about?
Yeah, I could, I don't know. I think my mother was an evangelist, right? And she was very critical, and she's always measuring everybody around us by scripture. And it was a constant thing around you did something, she would find a scripture to put you in a thing. And it was so it made me I grew up with a difficulty in women's authority over me, because I could never please my mother, and I think because you hold people to a higher standard. So in sports, people out there talking that yang, that's part of the game, talking that yang, and I was too thin-skinned. I had to keep myself in control because this is my mother. I can't react the way I want to, say what I want to. She's my mother, and I love her. I don't understand her. But when I got on the court out there in the world, I just was thin-skinned. You couldn't talk to me any kind of way. You couldn't say anything to me. I could play a game. A lot of times in military, when you play on different bases with people from different places, and you saw that that it was a different intensity in New York and Jersey. Those kind of, it was different playing with Southern brothers from Texas. They had a different spirit. You can joke and play with it, and you could talk about it, but it wasn't mean spirited. But how I always traveled, God made a good shot. He made a good shot. I think the thing about sportsmanship, I want to win, but I want to play by the rules. I don't want to be cheated. That's my whole measurement of everything. It's about let's play this game, whatever the game is. Let's play by the rules. Let's not. If it's called due process and legal. Before you call someone innocent till proven guilty. I mean, as long as you're playing by the rules, I can go with it. As we know in politics and sports, people with their main interest is to win by any means, and that's the part. That's the part I don't agree with that.
Now, Mr. Jordan, Mr. Michael Jordan said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win.
I never liked Jordan. I like his game. I like the gifts that God gave him. As far as like playing with him, shoot, I'd have shot him. I had $1 million like that. He doing that stuff. I'd have shot him on the court. He got killed. You what? Pow, pow. And I lost my career. I didn't go in everything because I don't like no bully. I don't bully people, and I'm just not gonna be bullied. You ain't gonna say anything to me. I don't care how much money you got, whatever. No, I don't like I like LeBron, and simply because he's a team player, that he builds. He got his flaws. It's all sports, but he's more kind of playback I could play with and watch. Jordan, awesome though. I gotta tell you, man. He was dogging him. Woo, yeah, but he wasn't a good guy. He wasn't a nice guy. Still ain't.
It was a bully. A bully on the court.
You're a bully. You're a bully, man. He got skills. He got stuff. He's the number one man. Everybody knew it, and he just wrote it.
Okay. Draymond. Is Draymond Green a bully?
Yes.
Oh Lord,
yes, he is. She's right. He is a bully. He a bully. He's a bully and he's a coward. And I think he can do that stuff on national TV when everybody watching the stuff. You catch that guy in a dark alley. I'm serious. I know bullies in their heart of hearts are cowards. They pick their battles. They pick to do it in front of people that somebody could grab them and all that. Get them alone in the dark corner.
See, he won't be able to get away fast enough, huh?
I know because in a dark corner there's that 9, there's that Glock, there's that knife. Let's take it all the way to the end. Do you really mean this? You walk. No, there are people. When you walk in somebody that's willing to take the consequences of action, saying, I know I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna lose my life, but this right here, at this moment, is worth it. You got to go.
Let me ask you this question, man. And we got a couple other people on the phone, and I'm gonna go to them as well. Let me ask you this question, Mr. Hicks, and I want you to answer truthfully. Was you a thug, brother? Was you a thug?
I was a person that thugs feared. When I came back from Vietnam, we was taking off the drug dealers. We was taking them off and come by and say, listen, you brother, I know you're a brother and stuff. I know life is rough and stuff, but you got to get off this corner. That's what the thing with El Jamil, H-Rap Brown there in the West End. My daughter married into that family. I had a hard time getting out of that back in the day.
Put on full screen
but they cleared up the West. Yes. But they cleared up the West End. They cleared it up. No drugs in the West End, no prostitution in the West End, none of that stuff, but they had soldiers run around. But then when you get into that kind of thing, when you're trying to make people, force them through arms to do what's right, it's almost like a thing you become a monster too. It's like, and I guess it takes me to the point of knowing that it's a spiritual battle. It's a battle for our minds and for our hearts. And when I talk about those things in that sense, that's really like that's the flesh side of me, because I'm dual. I mean, everything with me is like, I see the physical, then I try to put it in balance by going to the spiritual. Say, okay, although I walk in the flesh, I don't walk the flesh. My weapons are stronger. And then the way of Jesus. And it's a difficult thing. I was just reading some stuff last night that took my heart, that I'm so far removed from the example that I try to follow. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but then I look and see how we've gotten away from the essence of the power that was displayed by this heart that was in line with the Creator. I believe in the healings. I believe in the curing leprosy. I believe in feeding the 5,000.
Good. And that's good. Hold right there, brother. We got to pull the people that's on the phone line because
Yes,
if I let you go, brother, you're gonna have a whole sermon going on, brother. We don't went from
no,
basketball
I to stop me.
I'm just don't baby. You know I'm silly, brother.
I was waiting for you to stop me.
There you go. He said, "I'm gonna talk till you stop me." Ms. Hicks said, "I'm gonna talk till you stop me. I'm gonna keep going till you stop me. Now, if you don't stop me, I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna be 10:30, and I still be talking."
Words in.
Good deal. Let me go. As a matter of fact, before I do that, we got Badger here with us as well on the video side. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Phone, I'm coming to you next.
Good morning.
Is sports competition or is it camaraderie?
I'd definitely say competition, like the gladiator days.
The gladiator, good Lord, you don't want to turn the pages on us there, brother. Go ahead.
What do you mean turn the pages on you?
That's way on back.
I mean, it's just a continuation of that. You know, there are some that use it as a way to solve issues. And then, however, the majority use it to see which one is peeing farther.
Who had the biggest kahunas?
Yeah. So I kind of laugh when we get on these sport topics because a lot of times, like with football and basketball and all this kind of stuff, you get, there can be that one player that, gets the team to, work together and synergize and stuff like that. But that one person isn't nothing without the whole team. But yet that gets ignored. There's a lot of selfishness in sports, even in team-based. Like, rather honor a quarterback than, respect the fact that he's able to do what he does because of his team. But that's too much to expect out of people.
Oh, come now, Badger.
So it's just, to me, that's how I see it.
Okay.
I don't. If it was to me, if it was a true competition and there was respect about it, the people that would be losing would also just be learning something from it. They wouldn't let their ego and pride affect them.
Good deal. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Asking a question this morning: is sports competition or is it camaraderie? Is it more of a competition or is it more of the camaraderie of two teams come together to play against each other, have a good time, just enjoy the sport? Brandy, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, sis. Is sports competition or do you see it as camaraderie?
I think it. I just had a little conversation about that yesterday too. So it seemed like touching on some of the subjects I recently talked about. I think for most of it is like it's competition. Just because of the aggression and things behind it. Like you have to. Just the whole. It's still a sportsmanship, but I still feel like it's so aggressive that it makes it, competitive in a way. So, yeah.
Does sports have its place?
So, do what?
Does sports have its place?
Does it have its place? Like,
yes. In our,
what do you mean?
In our existence, does sports have its place, or is it something that should be done away with because of their competition and camaraderie? No, not camaraderie, but the competition that goes along with it and cut each other.
No, because it's a form of entertainment, So I don't think that it should be, and then it's big business too as well. So I don't think it should be done away with because of that. Because it's like, what else would it be? What else would it be? As far as people having that entertainment source, So I definitely think it's one of the main outside of music. Yeah, it's just right up there. So definitely with a big form of entertainment.
Good deal. Good deal. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Well, good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, we doing amazing this morning. I got a question for you. We're going to switch up the topic, but I got a question for you right now. We're talking about sports. Is sports competition or is it camaraderie?
I guess it's a little bit of both. I guess what is only competition when it's the two winning teams. It's camaraderie any other time. Like it depends on, if you're not doing anything with a specific agenda or to achieve a specific thing, whether it be the best, whether it be the ring, whether it be the money, it's not a competition. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like practice. It's just more like going through the stages. Just more like, just playing the game.
Yeah.
But when you change the aerodynamics, that there's a prize at the end. You're going to be the best at the end. You're going to be labeled as the greatest, and whatever flourishings come with being the best and being the greatest, that's what changes it into competition. We can kick a ball around all day long, all we want to. You know how many Latinos were around here kicking around the ball for no reason until we started getting the teams up in soccer, like the Atlanta Pride Thrashers, whatever their name is. I don't know what their name is, but I mean, like a lot of people play soccer.
Yeah,
they was playing soccer. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until we changed the trajectory of the game. All right, boom, we're gonna have different teams, and different teams compete for different titles, and different titles compete for different championships. That's what turned it into a competition. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can utilize camaraderie as a competition because I guess the individuals playing, they're still playing to an extent to be the best. You know what I mean? But if you're not playing against someone for a purpose, it's really not a competition. It's like what? A tryout. You know what I'm saying? So it just really depends on what's at the end of the road to determine if it's a competition, even with life. You know what I mean? There was a moment that God had to say, Toya, stop. This ain't a competition. Like, who you compete with?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just do you. You know what I mean? And I think oftentimes, even in life, we try to utilize that. Everything's a competition. You got to be better than, greater than, have more than. And at the end of the day, you're giving yourself a stroke because you're competing in a sport that doesn't even matter, really. You know what I mean? So you're trying to compete at something, and there's no other players in the game. It's just you. And that's oftentimes what we do. In life, it's just us, right? And when you find yourself competing against the Joneses, when you find yourself competing against the Jay-Z and Beyonce's on your $35 salary, you're that's really not a competition. You understand what I'm saying? So it really just depends on the trajectory of the person, right? Their mindset, and what's at the end of the road, determining what makes this a competition or not.
Wow. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I made a comment and Pee-wee games. Y'all ever saw parents fall out?
Oh yeah. Fall out, fighting, all kind of things. Yes, sir.
Does that look like camaraderie? Or it's competition? It's just a game.
That's what they tell you. That's the verbiage.
I saw a coach in a little. I think they must have been about 7 or 8. I can't get over it. I'm checking myself because you said it. I'm sorry. You hurt my feelings. No, you can't. I ain't got the feelings. Anyway, no. But have you ever seen? I saw this coach. He was trying to usher his players to go on the other side, in some kind of way, the other team got the ball, and this little big boy, he must have been 6 or 7, goes to shoot up a layup and block the ball. That's kind of serious.
Yeah, that's real serious.
They ain't just getting together. I'll tell you what, man. You know, we get along pretty good right here.
Yes.
And but if we was in a game, I'm gonna just tell you, I don't know. I'm not a sore loser.
But you like winning.
I'm not a sore loser.
But you like winning.
But I like winning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I used to go and I never did want to come home. You know how they give you a trophy, you know, and a plaque or medal, something, a T-shirt, or whatever, for the award. I never did want to come home with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in order to come home with something, you had to come out in first, second, or third. Nobody else got nothing.
You had the place, yeah.
Because you had to ride home with the rest of the players. Well, I'm like Mr. Hicks. I remember I used to be good at football, wide receiver. I'd catch if a ball touched my hand, I was catching it. But one day at practice, the coach grabbed me by the collar. I said, my daddy don't grab me like that. So it led me to run do something else.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I wouldn't. I wasn't just getting on the track to just compete. The devil is a lie. What sense does it make to practice all day, all week, sweat, throwing up, all that, and then when the track meet comes up, you dead last?
Yeah. I only know why you ran. You're gonna be last. I only know why you ran. You last. Man, every time you run, you last. What you go out there for? What you go out there for?
But it's the competition. You ever saw somebody, man, and they I like the little girl. I talked about that the other day. Little girl, and here she is. She done lost her shoe. She gets up there, go back to get her shoe, and she's just not gathering around. She want to win. Oh, it's all about competition. You just say that, and I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Good deal. Cookie, what's on your heart before we switch the topic? You walk around hurting people's feelings and all.
First of all, I know. Tassan, let me apologize to you profusely. Shame on me. Shame on me for saying the thing that I've been thinking. Shame on me for saying the thing that everybody on this panel thinks. Shame on me for calling you out. Shame on me.
And then she said, "What everybody thinking."
Hey, don't bring me up in that.
Now she did the elbow me in the back of the head. Elbow me in the back of the head.
Hey, Tucson.
Yes, but I did so lovingly, though, sir.
You did.
But Tucson, I'm gonna tell you, to her defense, don't pay her no attention. Tucson, she's just serious.
I like it.
Don't pay her no attention. She's just serious. That's all. She's just serious. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, Tucson, I apologize. To say.
No.
Listen. The fact that you cannot get beyond me giving you a right hook early in the morning, doesn't that tell us? Just saying. Before you were saying it depends on what we get at the end of what the prize is. It doesn't have to be a prize. Sometimes people just want to win. So I can assure you that I await your revenge. I can assure you because I know it's coming.
Exactly. Well, let's switch up and Cookie, I'm gonna stay with you with this right here. and I'm gonna go to all the ladies first, because I want to hear what the ladies gonna say about this before I go to the guys. So guys, be on standby for a second. I'm coming to you next. I got to ask the ladies this question first, because it pertains to them. Cookie, do you think society really honor and respect our women?
It's a whole no for me. It is a whole no. I think that let me preface my remarks by saying that I am biased, because I'm a woman, but also because I'm a Black woman. And I think that Black women are the cradle of civilization. Everything that grows in humanity is born from us and our labor. But we are the least respected.
Wow.
We are everybody's enemy. Everybody's punching bag. Everybody punches down on us. We have to be twice as polite, twice as smart, twice as efficient, twice as capable as everybody else. And it is very, very much unfortunate. I think that I have said this before, that I think it was Malcolm X who said that a nation can rise no higher than its women.
Yes.
And in our community, we have allowed music and other people to define who our women are, instead of allowing each woman to be themselves, instead of trying to be the best people we can be and propel those women forward, hold them up even in high regard and esteem. We have taken women's quest for equal rights and equal treatment, and we have twisted it into something obscene and said that equal rights means that, if you hit me, I hit you back, or you can lift your own groceries, or you can carry your own boxes. We have twisted it to mean something that it does not mean. All we've ever asked for as women is to be given a voice at the table that we choose to sit at. We just want to be heard. We're not demanding anything that is unreasonable and unfair. The same way that men want equity for the work that they do. They want fair treatment. They want respect. Women just simply want the same thing. We happen to want it in our homes as well as every place else. That's all.
Wow.
We're not trying to take anybody's position. We're not trying to say that you all are not needed or less than essential parts of our lives. We just want to be treated fairly. If you need for me to work outside the home, then all I'm asking is that you give me some voice in the money that I earn, how it's used. Help me inside the house if I'm working outside the house the same as you. Simple things, simple revisions that can make it more equitable and easier for me. That's all. But it seems like sometimes, no matter what you say to some people, they're going to twist it, and turn it into something, to benefit them. Because oftentimes people are resistant to anything that benefits the other party. And it also could be that sometimes the other side doesn't always see women as deserving or equal human beings. That's a part of, patriarchy.
Wow. Good deal. Excuse me. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Asking the question, does society as a whole, does society honor and respect our women? Brandy, what do you say to that? Told you with a T, coming to you next.
I want to say absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. I don't, and I think especially Black women right now, with the climate of things being spread online, things that I see, social media is kind of backing that too, unfortunately. But Black women in particular, we do have the ability to carry our next family, our generations and stuff like that. And I feel like most times that, I guess you want to say higher up entities that be agendas, media, government, things like that, try to keep us in this place of where we can't grow past that, meaning they want us dependent on their systems. They want us on food stamps. They want us on this. They want, and what they are doing is like, hey, be dependent on the government. Don't be dependent on a man or, because they know that the highest hierarchy is a Black family. And what kind of, what we would take over if there were more Black families. So they pollute our men too. You know what I mean? Let's put pornography on them. Let's put all these temptations on. It's totally like I said, a break apart in them wanting us dependent on them. So, and then, it goes hand in hand with the disrespect and everything that we get. But I can say personally, as a Black woman, I have never had so much opposition, so much having to fight for it's tiring. It's exhausting. So I can only imagine what other women feel, like with small children right now. Of course I was one at one point too, but times are different now. Like I can't even imagine right now. It's hard. It's really hard.
Wow. Toya with a T, talk to me, man. Does society as a whole, do they honor and respect our women?
And you said our women meaning Black women?
Yes. Well, women as a whole, but yeah, you all are taking it from that aspect, so absolutely.
I can only take it from that aspect because I'm a Black woman.
Yes, absolutely.
I do know that overall, men feel differently about women, period. Okay. But what I have to be real about being a Black woman is when it comes to the trajectory of the relationship, it ain't got nothing to do with the government. It got to do with my mama and my daddy. It got to do with that same position that Adam and Eve was in the garden. And when God told you to do something, when he told you, if you're going to be with her, be with her. And when he told me, don't sleep with him, that's not your husband. See, I knew all that. But the trajectory was different in my household. My father was more God-fearing. My mama was more devil-fearing. And at the end of the day, when it came to advice, visions, or a picture on what a strong Black relationship was, it wasn't there. And again, at 47, I'm not going to blame that on the government. I'm going to blame that on us. We've been knew what God told us. Forget them damn white folks. Forget what America and the United States said. God been told us what to do. He wrote it in our bones. And we will not do right. Yeah, point out there. Hey, they had a whole city that turned to stop. They're doing some of everything with some of everything. This ain't new. But we still refuse to do what the Lord said, to do some of the things that is the devil's work. I'm not gonna blame that on the government anymore, because when I blame on the government, there's no repairing, because they're not gonna repair it. They're not gonna fix it. Now, were there influences to make us make choices? Absolutely. The same way the snake was in the garden, it was a choice. And when God told that man, she's not gonna be your wife, don't be with her. This is why we're here. Now, I'm not talking about the 1600 when we first got here, and it was have sex with your niece or die. Even in that, I would have went on a rampage killing folks. But that's okay. Neither here nor there. My family got to live. I'm so scared to die and my family to die. I much rather be captured into bondage and forced to have sexual desires with whomever. Okay, I can see that being society fault, but we're not going to do that after 1965. 66. No, not.
And this is I know that I'm asking this question for my listeners. I know what my answer is, but how do you, after that point, and you've been programmed in such a way, how do you turn it off?
Ain't no program. There you go with that program. Come on, stop. We're not computers. We're not robots. Trust me, Raheem, been there, done that. I was a part of the toxicity from which I grown, but I always knew different. I didn't want to choose different. I didn't want to be hurt. I didn't want to be faithful. I didn't want to be committed. I don't know that God stuff, because it seems like it come in last place. So now, we're not going to do program. We're going to use influence, okay? But to this very day, Raheem, they tell us that they're killing us with food and we're still eating it. They tell us that they're killing us with medicine and we're still going to the doctor using it. They are telling us in our face all of these things that are poisonous towards us, and we don't care. We still want it. Forget that. I'm going to eat the apple anyway. I don't want what you got, Lord. The apple looked good. She touched it. She ate it. Ain't nothing happened. I'm going to eat it too. And nothing didn't happen until him ate it too.
Okay. That program thing I was talking about, because I think that as a whole we are programmed in a certain way. We're even programmed to the point that why do we stop? See, I don't know if I want to go here, but why do we stop? Why do we stop at the red light? Because we're programmed to say that because we know if we continue through that red light, there's repercussions that can happen. But that's a program. They program us in a way that when the light turned red, you stop, and we do that.
You program your kid not to be having sex at 12 too.
We do. But at the same time, but that's still, but to your point and mine, that's still a program.
It might be a program, but it's a program for the what? Why you program your child to not have multiple men and not have sex at 14? Why do you program her that way? It's natural.
Mm-hmm.
It's natural. They've been doing it. They do it over there in Afghanistan. They marry off at 12. So why do we call ourselves programming our kids in that way? What's the point?
I was just speaking on the program, since you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely go there, but like I said, we got a guest that's in the green room right now that's waiting to come in, and we got a lot of people that's here, so but we could definitely go there. But let's you and I do a program on that.
Okay, I heard on that. Just keep in mind, they do it because they feel like it's the safety and well-being of you. People say that Christians are programmed.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And it's God's program. It don't make no difference. If you want to be under anybody's program, it need to be the Lord's and not the devil's, because it ain't but two programs to choose.
Well, man, come up with his own little program too, but that's a whole different conversation. Let's go to Tucson. As a whole, do we honor? Does society, not us, do society honor and respect our women?
Silence give consent.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because Lord, you painting with a wide brush, because for the most part of what they put in front of us, I would just throw it out there. Sometimes we gotta respect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let me tell you how I am, for real. I don't look for nobody to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
I respect me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with me. And regardless, I think that because we all over the place. We don't know what kind of respect we desire.
Mm-hmm.
All over the place. I mean, you don't even know.
Come on.
These days, because we I don't even know. But our women cover themselves up with stuff to make themselves look like somebody else. So who do you really expect it? The disguise, that's what you want. Everybody want to look like Beyonce.
Tucson, I'm gonna come over there and take that shovel out your hand, brother, because you're digging a deep hole right now. I'm gonna come over there and take that shovel out your hand, brother. I'm gonna take that shovel out of your hands, brother. Woo! Okay. Let me do this.
I'm just okay. You asked me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know we got a guest, so I'm gonna shut up. But I don't have to be right, but I'm free.
Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Ryan, as a whole, does society honor and respect our women?
It's hard to say yes or no when you have a certain percentage who don't even respect themselves. Just being transparent.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Do I respect women? Absolutely. Do you respect women? I believe so.
Yes.
But there are entities and powers out there that don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think of this. I know it ain't We Out Wednesday, but I'm gonna say a way out Wednesday thing. Women fought for so many years to be on an equal playing field, to have the right to vote, go do all of these things that they fought for, tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally got it. And now they're having to fight men again because men want to take the role as women. So now they're having to fight men for something else that already belonged to them again. I don't think that's respect.
Should women have to fight for the right, if they so choose, to have an abortion?
You touching on some sore stuff right now. Toya, you silly. You touching on one of them soft subjects, because this is one of them areas, right? I think if you look at it from a life standpoint, nobody deserves to choose anybody's ability to live or die. Nobody. But there are circumstances. I believe that there are circumstances that can, I don't even want to use the word justify, because I just can't. I can't get down with that play. But I believe that there are circumstances that would allow for it. But I don't justify the death of anybody. I'm not God. That's just how I feel.
That's good. That's good. Let's keep this thing going. Leonard, talk to me, brother. As a whole, holistically, do this society that we live in right now, does it show you that they love and honor and respect our women, or is it something different?
Well, it just depends on the context of the question. Particularly me, I don't believe anyone is due any inordinate amount of respect. I respect you in general because you're a human being. So my thing is, I'm more like what Toussaint. I don't live from the outside in. I live from the inside out. So I do think that women have issues that they need to address. And their issues are not my issues. Your issues with yourself have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
If you equal, then you be equal.
What does that mean?
Same shit. You understand? That's what equal is. It ain't always a great day on this side of that fence, ladies. But now you got it, and now you trying to give it back.
Why? Whoa. Stay right there. Why do you? What do you mean when you say they're trying to give it back? What does that mean?
Very simple fact. You don't like carrying that weight. You don't like doing what you have to do to survive.
But haven't they had to do it for a long time though? Haven't women had to do it for a long time?
Yes, and you're gonna keep doing it because it is the nature. It's life. That's what life is. And no one is due any inordinate amount of respect or worship in this place. You earn what you keep, ladies. You fight for what you want, ladies. Every single freaking day. That's what you do. Welcome to this world.
So the battle never ends.
Never.
Wow.
Never. Until they put your body in that dirt. You ought to work every day if you want to eat. If you're going to sit up and make babies, you ought to take care of them. If you lay down with dogs, you're going to get them fleas. It's time for you to stand up and make those decisions in your best interest, because that's what a man does every day. I'm not looking for a woman to appreciate me.
But do you hold on, stay right there. But do you want to be appreciated?
I don't think, for the people I do things for, yes. But I don't expect the world to appreciate me.
But so why can a woman have that same honor and respect and expect the same thing to be
because
appreciated?
They're looking for more. They're looking more for worship, a lot of them.
Then I think I think you're taking a liberty, brother. I don't, me as a man.
You got to check social media.
See, my thing is right here. Me as a man, I would never put myself in a situation or position where I try and speak for a woman because I've never been that, never will be that.
I would never speak for a woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I'm against. I'm not a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I support women all day.
Mm-hmm.
I love working with women. I've always worked with women,
Mm-hmm.
women as superiors as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised with strong women. And they handled their business and they didn't make excuses and they wasn't sitting around talking about why a man don't want me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they was too busy taking care of their business.
Wow. Young lady, this is Wanda from let me see. She's from YouTube. She's watching us on YouTube. And read that, Leonard. Can you see it? Oh,
you're muted, Leonard.
You muted, brother. We can't hear you. Somehow
That's
you muted.
true, but they don't want to admit it. Now, a lot of women are crying wolf. Wanda's a very smart woman.
Why? Because she agree with you?
No, because she accepts the truth of the matter. It's not about agreeing with me. It's you who are failing because of this inordinate need for someone else's appreciation and affection.
Okay.
If you want to be scripture about it, you can go back to the text. Supposedly in the text, this was your curse.
Mm-hmm.
According to the text.
Okay. Let's keep this thing going on. We got a few more minutes. We're going to bring our guest in. The guest is actually in the green room right now. But let me go to Badger. What do you say to that? As a whole, do society honor and respect our women?
Society. Man, I'd say no.
Mm-hmm. You say no?
I'd say a good portion don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my house is matriarchal, so I have different views on things. And I don't like how women are portrayed today. I don't like hearing them be called the B words in music. I don't like how some women portray themselves and betray other women on social media.
Mm-hmm.
To me, women have been gifted the gift of bringing life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never accepted anything that has to do with saying that women are cursed. That just feels wrong to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that that's played a large role in how women have been treated through history. So
you think a lot of people think women are cursed?
I think there's a good portion, especially in white communities. A lot of the ones I grew up with were, women should obey men. And then I found out that white communities ain't the only ones that do it. So I've come to learn that that's been adopted all over the place. So, and see, there's something that's always been on my mind, and then this is a interesting topic. For those that say God is a man, where in the world were y'all born from? And why ain't that talked about? Where's the honor of the mother? There's honor for the father, but where's the honor for the mother? You want to know why we don't treat women well? We don't even honor the mother. That should say everything I want to say all by itself.
So hold on. Give me some clarity. We got a couple other people I want to touch, and then we're gonna go bring our guest in a minute or two. So you saying everybody honors the father, but nobody honors the mother?
Not that I've seen. I mean, look at the way things are spoken.
Okay. What
God the Father.
Hold on.
God the Father this, God the Father that, but no one talks about the mother.
Badger. What the Catholic religion, do they honor the mother?
You talking about Mother Mary?
Yes.
Depending on how you look at it.
No. From the Catholic standpoint, they honor the mother. They honor the Mother Mary, and they say things people say about Father God. They say Mother Mary, and it's all about that. That's what they do. That's a basis.
I will have to look more into that because I don't know how they actually go down with that.
You might want to do.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
You talking about they honoring the father, not honoring the mother. I gave you an example what they do honor the mother, but now you're saying that's not what.
No. Okay, so the mother you're talking, Mother Mary, was the mother of Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
God. Is God, there's the whole debate of God, is God male or female?
This gonna take us down a whole nother road. Yeah. Hold on for a second, brother. This gonna take us down a whole nother alley. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. As a society, do we as a society honor and respect our women? Why not?
I think as a society, the human being is not honored, appreciated. Our experience in sojourn in this country.
Let's stay focused on and you're right. And what you're saying is right, but let's stay focused on the woman.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, go ahead, sir. I apologize, sir. I apologize, Mr. Hicks. Don't thug out on me. Go ahead, brother.
No, just like give me space. There's a Dr. Joy DeGrace. She talked about post-traumatic slave syndrome, and it talks about the movement to separate the man from the woman, to make the woman a separate group, separate identity. Then they had the feminist movement that came along with the birth of when women had the right to control their with the pill, and now she could control that part of life. She can decide now whether baby live or die. And what it did was it made them a different party. They see themselves as separated. Everything in scripture talks about the man and woman as being a unit and being flesh of flesh and blood of blood. There's a connection that happens that is spiritual. So I think I give you experience. When I was little, and I guess it might have been early 50s, because I was with my granddad, and the guy that he worked for, he sharecropped the land. He would come drive by in the truck, and when he drive up to his house, he would ask for Annie. That's my grandmother. She would come out. She would talk to him, and she would relay what this guy said to them. My father was a different kind of guy. And he got in a lot of conflict with my mother because he didn't want her to rule over him. She would get angry and call the police. And the police would come and they walk in the house. They walk in the house and they told him to shut up and listen to whatever she said. And not he got taken away, depending on what she said. So I'm saying that there's been an intentional attempt to separate the two people, the man and the woman. The post-traumatic Dr. Joy, she said these things, this post-traumatic slave syndrome being a little different from post-traumatic stress syndrome, that is something that was passed down through DNA, that is passed down through traumas deeply hidden inside our subconscious. So I think what, they create a situation when they separate the man from the woman, where the woman would need the man because the government would take that food stamps, Section 8, all kind of things. I mean, there are whole kind of options now for women to get support. So I don't think that's honor, because it's part of their strategy to separate the two, because until we could come together in terms of families, but that was a very destruction of the whole slave thing. It broke up the family. It sold off children. It sold off husbands and wives. It put a dent so deep in our psychic and subconscious spiritual mind that we're still playing out the effects of that. We made babies for the slave masters. In a sense, we still do. And then the feminism with sexual liberation, where women became just like men. They could have sex whenever they want to. They take that pill, use some contraception, and then the risk is theirs not have the babies. So it don't honor us, men or women. And beyond the slave experience, it's a thing that's this war to separate women and men, and they are really one.
Wow, they're really one. Wow. Okay, let me go. Brandy, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Just really just listening and hearing everybody's side on the take on the subject and everything and stuff like that. Like I said, I just kind of still stand where I was saying earlier, and that's just because of what I've experienced, you know, as a woman myself. And so, like I said, just taking what everybody else is saying in, but I still kind of stand on what I was saying on, you know, just how it is. It's not equal. It's not equal playing field, whatever, as far as on wanting equality or feminism or anything like that. Or I personally myself, you know, am not a feminist or anything like that, or believe that but I just believe that it's being harder. It's being harder on all of us, period. You could just say that it's not even just women. It's everybody right now. It's just making it harder.
Exactly. Exactly. Cookie, talk to me. Cookie, you there?
I'm sorry, I'm here. My apologies.
Okay. What's on your heart?
So I saw a video recently of some wild horses, and the significance was there was a horse in the middle of this field, and she gave birth to her foal. And the minute that the baby hit the ground, the mother stood over it to protect it. Less than 30 seconds after giving birth, here come the male horses. And I couldn't really understand exactly what was going on. They appeared to be, I thought they were just trying to inspect the baby, but the mother was protecting them. She was kicking and carrying on, and then one of the horses snapped at the baby. He got close enough to snap, and the mother kicked him, and she's running in circles because there's 2 or 3 male horses surrounding her. And eventually, there was, after the scuffle was over, another mare came to help her, and together they fought off the male horses. And so I did some research, and I found out that in the wild, male horses, oftentimes, if a foal is born and it is a boy, they will unalive it because it becomes competition for mating. That was a little bit shocking to me. It also reminded me of a story about elephants. When an elephant gives birth in the wild, other female elephants gather around her to protect her, and they urinate all over the space to mask the scent of a newborn baby being born. The reason that these are relevant is because I think sometimes that men don't understand that this is what it is like for women sometimes, Black women in particular. It is the moment that we give birth. We don't even get a moment, to gather ourselves, to recover. The struggle begins. The tussle begins the moment that the baby is born. It's as if the expectation of us is that we're super people and that we can endure anything without compassion, without support, without encouragement. It is a very sad state of affairs to sit and listen to a man who looks like me, who thinks so very little of women who look like me. It's very hurtful, in fact, because I can assure you, at some point in the life of most of these men on this panel, within the earshot of my voice, and in the lives of most of these men, somewhere there has been a woman who looked like you, who offered you nothing but love and support, and asked for nothing in exchange. Because that's who we are at our core as decent women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hicks, I see your approval right there. What's on your heart, brother?
Well,
Toya with a T.
She just, I mean, it's something, when somebody says something that hits your heart. I'm sorry. You can go on, Tanya. I'm step on you, Tanya. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead, Miss Hicks. I'm coming. I said I'm going to Toya next. Go ahead.
Well, it's she said a mouthful. It touched me in my heart because I know it's true. I know it's true in the sense that I mean, old school, the kind of women that they didn't come and latch up with you because you had money or you had flash or you had stuff. They latched on and say, me and you, let's go out here in the world and get this together. You know, it's like you think about all the basketball stars, the movie stars, they have somebody that struggle with them while they go on the road, and then they get to the goal, they dump the one that rode with them. You know, that's what my experience, but I never been outside. I never had experienced anything outside of my race personally. But I find that that my sisters, old school sisters, man, they latched on to a man that had principles. They wanted a man that they trust, and a man they knew that held them in esteem and wouldn't cheat on them. You know, and they will go right down right down to the end. Even when that man change and get off track and go out of order, she'll stick with him longer than a normal person would, because she still got that faith in that connection, that future. But but I honor our Black women, because without them throughout this sojourn, we would have never made it. You know, I had to go through some things. Understand my mother, that the time I grew up, she was hard on me. She was really, really hard on me, because she saw there was something in my spirit. Unless it was tamed, my father was absent. He was there, but he wasn't that influential on me. It put up a resistance. But when I understand her, she was trying to tell me that she saw something, because it came from, she saw it in the other uncles and stuff, that unless I got that in check, I would be in prison or dead. Because you gotta have the ability to control your emotion. You gotta be a man that comes out of some principles and your thoughts rather than what you feel. When I talk about all that thin skin stuff, that was really a feminine aspect of me. That was a feminine thing, to be so easily offended and easily hurt and so easy to react. But that's the worst thing you have is our young men that have this testosterone and all this strength inside of, but they've been raised by single mothers in a society that make them respond emotionally, and they pull out a pistol and shoot somebody.
Wow!
But
wow! It's a lot, brother. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Asking a question. As a society, do we honor and respect our women? Toya, talk to me. Cassandra, coming to you next.
I don't care about your respect. I don't need it. I'm gonna get it anyway. You can't help but respect this Black woman, and I was raised by a Black man. And you can put up your facade like you some kind of strong king, and I just never bow down. But I know in the week of your spirit, my spirit alone make everything in your brain tremble. Stop laughing, Leonard. I ain't gotta be honored by men. I ain't gotta be honored by society. I ain't got to be honored by nobody, because I'm going to get mine, whether you like it or not. The way I walk, the way I talk, the way I move, you can't help but respect me. Because I'm going to walk like it. I'm going to talk like it. Even when I was a devil, I was scary. So I don't live my life contingent upon humans and who respects me and who honors me. I honor myself. I respect myself. And in me respecting myself, I respect anybody around me. As soon as you get out of pocket, I'm going to take you there too. Let's go. My world don't move because somebody honors me. My world don't move because men don't respect me. Good thing the Lord knew what he was doing when he created me in 1977, because I promise you, I'm here to shake up something. So I don't wait on that. I was raised by a very strong-willed Black man who made sure he prepared me with everything I need to know. But I think the most important thing that this Black man instilled in me was teaching me who God really is. And once I'm under his covering, I don't need your respect. You think that Pharaoh respected Moses? Really? When he told him that, oh, my God said, let my people go. I can't even see your God, boy. What you mean? So come on, nah, not me. But I'm a different kind of woman. You'll have to live 4 times, come back and die to you 84 before you ever meet another one like me. Please believe that. So at the end of the day, when it comes to respect and honor, what is that going to do to me? What? And listen, ain't nobody on here got to respect and honor me. What's that going to do to me? I'm still going to get up to go to work. I'm still going to make money. I'm still going to be me. All these years, I done made it. And there's a couple of people along the way that probably felt like they did not honor and respect me. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do what I am sent to do by the Most High, whatever it is. And along that journey, I need to be expecting that I'll probably be treated like Jesus, not respected, not honored. And at the end of the day, they may want to crucify me because I'm just here doing what I feel like my God want me to do. Now, when you run around here like a little demon, oh yeah, everybody loves you. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, you little demon just walking around spreading little demon seeds. But at the end of the day, when you are truly one who is trying to be out to do the right thing, or just want to be a good person, right? And you don't want to veer into that. 9 times out of 10, some of these weak people will not respect you. Oh, you're too soft. Oh, you're too nice. Oh, some of these weak demonic people will feel like, oh, I'm not. Who's gonna honor you? All you do is try to do the right thing. So no, we're not gonna be moved by how people feel about me. Not this black woman.
Good
now,
deal.
I can give people that power if you want to. I can give that power to a man if I want to. There was only a few men.
One to 20 powers activate.
Right. There are only a few men that will be able to assume or even push the button of that power, and those are men in my family. And even with that being said, I still have the ability to do me regardless if you honor or respect me. I'm just saying.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, let me go to Cassandra, and then we're gonna bring our guest. We got a guest. We're gonna bring him in right after Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we can't hear you. Cassandra?
Good morning.
There you go. Cassandra, and good morning to you. How you doing this morning? I hope everything is well. As a society, do we honor and respect our women?
No. No, I don't. Not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody. But there is a large percentage of people that still don't respect women. They don't think women are smart enough to make their own decisions of something as simple as what they're going to do with their own bodies.
Yes.
That to me speaks volumes all by itself. I mean, that's huge. You're telling me I'm not smart enough to know what to do with my body. I'm not smart. You have to decide what I do with my body. You tell me what to do with my body. And that's, like I said, people have their own choices. Then if God gives us free will, then why don't you acknowledge that free will that we have? God said he gives us free will to make the choices. So it should be our choice. That's one story. That's a whole show all by itself. In our music, I'm just going to zero in on the Black community. We do not respect our women because everything is be, whore, you this, you that, you that. It is a total degradation of women in our community. And I think that is a horrific message to send to people around the world who listen to particular types of music, especially rap and hip hop. Almost everyone denigrates the Black woman. Almost every song that comes out denigrates Black women. How is that respectful? How was that when all you talk about is her breasts, her booty, how you did it to her all night long? How you what the heck? So no, I don't believe that we respect our women. And you can say, well, we know that all men don't do that and all people don't do that. But if we don't respect the Black woman, how do we expect anybody else to respect the Black woman? It ain't gonna happen. So yeah, that that's me on my soapbox.
Good
so,
deal. Good
no,
deal.
We don't.
Good deal. Well, it's that time, y'all. We're about to bring our guest in. Gonna bring him in and let him introduce himself. Get him on in here. There he is. There he is. There he is. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, man. Good to have you, brother. Tell everybody, we're gonna get into this conversation. We got a lot to cover today. Tell everybody, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, and just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Corey Lee. I'm the executive director of the Cowtown Foundation. I'm a farmer and an advocate for Black farm rights. And, sometimes I'm popular, sometimes I'm not, but I'm not very thrilled with the idea of Joe Biden having a second term based on basically he's the leader of the reemergence of the Dixiecrats. And, he has gotten Black people so distracted on what he and Secretary Tom Vilsack is trying to do, and that is to basically eradicate Black farmers from the business of agriculture. We only have 2.3 million acres of land left of the estimated 19 million since 1929, and they have perfected a plan. And our Black leadership, see, I know who Biden is, I know who Tom Vilsack is, so that's nothing we have to worry about. But we have to first look in the mirror and look at our Black leadership, look at the Black churches. And why are we selling our Black farmers down the road for what? For them to pander, for them to have a photo opportunity with a society or with an administration that could care less about Black people? That's something we need to talk about.
Okay. Now, you put a lot out there just then, and a part of your concentration was on Biden. What is it that leads you to think that Biden is not for the Black farmers, and what have he done to prove? Show me some evidence of what you're speaking of.
Okay, his signature legislation was the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. So basically, that was the pandemic relief from COVID. Okay, if from that standpoint, from March of 2021 to this present day, white farmers have been enriched by the pandemic relief to the tune of $75 billion. That's with a B. Black farmers have not received one single dime that they can put in their pocket from this administration. So now there also was a article written in the New York Post in July of 2019. And they said, if you go back and look at the history of Joe Biden as a legislator, he's always sided with separatists. Well, separatist is a synonym for a white supremacist. At the end of the day, that's what's going down. Now, then you wonder why he appoints Tom Vilsack as the Secretary of Agriculture. If you knew anything about Tom Vilsack, he did nothing. And in fact, he destroyed Black people under the Barack Obama administration. And he was it was a kingmaker. And we all know that Obama was scared to do anything with Black rights. They wouldn't let him touch it because it was too crucial. He was the first Black president. But if you dig even deeper into the history of Tom Vilsack, there were 6,000 Black state workers in Iowa to file a class action against this man for discrimination. So why in the hell would you put him on the national scene? Okay, now, so if you saw his performance in Iowa, you saw his performance under the Obama administration against all Black leadership saying, hey, do not bring this man in as the Secretary of Agriculture, and he brings him anyway. That was to complete the agenda of depriving or dispossessing Black people of their farmland. That's what's going on. But we're sitting in,
hold on, brother. Every now and then I'm gonna jump in a little bit because I have a question I'm gonna pose off what you said. And I am the question asker today, so that's what I do. What did you're saying that under Obama and under Biden, nothing was done? What was done before or after that?
Okay, so they under the Obama administration, there was a 2008 Farm Bill that had provisions in there that was supposed to give protections to Black farmers against unlawful foreclosures, supposed to resolve administrative complaints there. None of that ever happened.
So Obama did do something.
No, he didn't do anything because he didn't enforce any of it. Congress passed it, but Obama didn't have. Obama could have wrote an executive order to force the his Secretary of Agriculture to go by the law, but he did nothing. So no, he didn't do anything. Congress wrote the legislation. Obama, in fact, when black farmers was reached out to black leadership to reach out to Obama, they wouldn't even talk to us. So no, he didn't do anything.
Okay, so let's look at the window. Let's look at the window. There was Obama, and then there was Trump, and then there was Biden. Okay, let's go right there in the middle. What happened under Trump? What did Trump do, and Bush or any of the others do that were not quote unquote Democrats? Because I think what we're talking about is a Democratic thing. So what does any of the Republicans do to help the black farmers?
Okay, I see where you're going with this, but I got
no. I'm the question I ask you. I asked the question, and I asked the question that the people want to hear. You know, I don't care one way or another about any other Biden, Trump, or any. I don't care one way or another in regards to that, Democrat or Republican. But my thing is, I want to ask the questions that might listen on. We have 64 different countries, brother, and there's a lot of people that have questions. And so my question to you is, what happened outside of the Democratic run in office?
Okay, first of all, let me give you this caveat. I'm an independent. I'm neither Republican nor Democrat.
I know we spoke on that. Absolutely.
Okay, so I can at least tell you at least 3 things or 3 black farmers that got relief under Donald Trump. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I do know when Sonny Perdue was the Secretary of Agriculture, there were black farmers that did get relief. Okay, so I'm not saying that there was a broad sweeping effort to fix some of the things that's been plaguing the black farm community. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I can at least name 3 things that happened, or 3 black farmers I know personally that were able to get the administrative complaints resolved and get their debt written off to those farmers so they wouldn't be foreclosed. I can say that. Okay, so but one thing that Trump did do, he took a page out of, and this is not good, he took a page out of the Reagan handbook where basically he dismantled the Office of Civil Rights. Okay, that was 2016. Joe Leonard, who was the former Assistant Secretary of Civil Rights, there has not been one in place since 2016. So what Joe Biden and Tom Vilsack did, they saw how well that worked, and black leadership was not paying attention to what's happening to black farmers. To this very day, Biden has not appointed an Assistant Secretary of Civil Rights. Now, Congress gave the authority, the express authority to the Assistant Secretary of Civil Rights to resolve these complaints by black farmers. So Joe Biden said, you know what? Nobody said anything. Black leadership was feckless and didn't say a damn word to Donald. Oh, yeah, I said it, brother. They didn't do a damn thing.
No, we can't use profanity, so brother. That's
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
didn't say anything to Donald Trump about not having an Assistant Secretary of Civil Rights. So we're going to do the same thing so we can accomplish the mission. The mission is to dispossess the remaining 2.3 black-owned acres in the country. That's what the mission is. And we're sitting around playing howdy, howdy, ho, ho. Hey, I got a picture with the president. While at the same time, Joe Biden and his history is against Black America. Now, okay, so 3 or 4 months ago, Joe Biden and Tom Vilsack sent $25 billion to Ukrainian farmers. Okay. What is he giving black farmers, which had 2 acts passed for their benefit and haven't received a dime in their pocket? So now we've always said in black, because I'm 53 years old, we've always said in the black community, we don't own anything. So, but the Ukrainian farmers are allowed to go set up infrastructure like processing house. We always say, the old adage is like, we can't feed ourselves. With $25 billion, we can set up processing facilities. We can set up feedlots. We can set up feed mills. We can set up transportation to where we can feed ourselves. You guys out of Atlanta, I'm 200 miles from you. Now, if there were 2 or 3 processing plants that we could just feed black people in Atlanta, could black farmers in the South not survive just off the city of Atlanta?
Absolutely.
Because we like to eat. We might not pay bills or anything else, but we gonna eat. Hey, let's just call it what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And see, my thing is, I'm all with you in regards to what you're trying to do and the mission of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to help the black farmers. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you on that. But like I said, I have to be the question asker. We have quite a few people. I told you that we have quite a large panel here of people that want to ask questions of you. I'm going to go right now to Cookie. Cookie, what's on your heart? before I do that, are you open to answer questions?
Oh yeah, bro, I'm the man. I got time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cookie.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Leah. I have one question, yes or no, and then I'll give you my rebuttal. My question to you is, sir, are you a member of the National Black Farmers Association? Yes or no?
The answer is no. But I am the founder of the Cowtown Foundation, who's at the front.
No quantification is necessary. My apologies. It's simply a yes or no question. And the reason that I'm saying it's just a yes or no question is because the crux of my argument is based upon a man named John Boyd. John Boyd is the president, or was the president, of the National Black Farmers Association. Back in 2010, the legislation that you talked about, I think that what you shared with us was a little bit disingenuous. You didn't say the proper name of the bill. The proper name of the bill passed by Obama was called the Claims Remedy Act of 2010. And what it was specifically for is funding for Black farmers who were late filers of the class action lawsuit that you mentioned earlier, which means there was a separate pool of money solely for Black farmers.
Okay, let me educate you a little bit.
What, sir? One moment.
Let me educate you a little bit.
Hold on, brother. We're gonna come back to you. We're gonna come back to you. Go ahead.
Respectfully, I do not wish to argue. I'm simply stating the case as I know it to be, sir. You stated, sir, that you were not aware of anybody who benefited from these said bills. And I wish you also said there was one gentleman you think that later on got something. Even if that gentleman got something, it came from the same relief bill that I'm mentioning, the Claims Remedy Act of 2010. You also said that you were a member of you're the CEO of the Cowtown Foundation, sir. But the Cowtown Foundation, sir, is it doesn't state what its purpose is. It doesn't state what its legislation is. You have on your website, sir, something that states you're having some sort of a meeting, some sort of come to some sort of meeting on February 1st. And in that meeting, your guest, you state, is President Biden, and you have some other people listed. My next question for you, sir, would be yes or no, respectfully. Did you send a formal invitation to the President of the United States to attend this Zoom meeting? Yes or no, sir?
Yes, I did.
My second question to you, yes or no, sir, is did you receive a formal response from President Biden to the invitation to this meeting? Yes or no?
Not from him directly, but from one of his surrogate, and his surrogate says.
No. Yes, sir. Did you?
You asked me to answer the question. I'll give you. Okay. Yeah. No, I have not received anything from him directly.
One moment. Respectfully, sir. One moment. If you send an invitation, and if you did not get an answer from President Biden's desk, how and then in good faith can you list his name as a guest at this meeting? Isn't that also misleading and disingenuous, sir? Because it appears that you're stating he's coming, and then when he does not arrive, you can say that he breached the invitation. When you never have gotten a response, sir. That, sir, makes me question everything else that you present.
Okay.
That's my current position, sir. Okay. You have the floor, sir.
Cookie, let him answer. Okay.
Now, I'm going to try to remember these, and I'm going to go in reverse orders. So if you would read the poster, the flyer correctly, it says invitees. It didn't say guests. It said invitees. So that means that I formally invited them. So that did happen. And so I'm going to try to remember the rest of these questions. Let's get back to the John Boyd thing. John Boyd did not have what you're talking about, the claims remedy, that did not even pass into law, first of all, in 2010. And the second part of that, the Pickford 2 came from through the Farm Bill, basically, is because the Pickford 1 went so bad and people missed the deadline. So let me educate you a little bit before. Okay, let me give you a little bit more of my background. I'm into the legal aspect of fighting for the rights for farmers. The Pickford 2, like I said, the Claims Act that you're talking about, that was never passed into law. That was up for a vote and it was turned down. So it never became law. So the provisions of the 2008 Farm Bill is the only thing that these black farmers can go by. And as far as what you're talking about, that the farmers that I know, the remedy they got was from the Pickford, was from the Claims Act, that is entirely false. And that was nowhere even close. And I understand that you're trying to understand, and that I don't know if you're a farmer or not, but you are so off base of what you're saying that if you will give me a chance to respond to specific questions when you ask, I'll shoot you down all day, every day. And not trying to be confrontational with you, but for you trying to defend Barack Obama and Joe Biden for what's going on with black farmers, we can have this conversation all day, and you will never win this conversation with me. So if there's a question that I missed, please re-ask and let me respond to it right after you ask. Because you put about 7 or 8 questions on me, and I'm trying to cover them broadly, but I would like to respond to specifically. And then, and as far as you say, are you a member of the National Black Farmers? Good God. Have you not seen the damage John Boyd has done to black people? Have you heard anything from John Boyd's mouth since he got money to go around the country to teach these farmers how to apply for this stuff for the hub under the Inflation Reduction Act? You hadn't heard a word from John Boyd. He has not spoke out from him, because the problem is our black leadership has been bought and paid for, as such as Shirley Sherrod, such as Cornelius Blanton down at the Federation, and such as Savvy Horn. So get your facts right. These people are not. Hold on. I'm not cussing, but these people are not for black people. Not for black farmers.
Okay.
Mr. Lee, sir, I would say this to you respectfully, sir. You came on this show to present your case, sir, and to have a dialogue. Being loud, sir, does not make you right. A dialogue means that you can present your case, and the members present, sir, were able to rebuttal that case with what we know to be facts. I have stated for you information that can be found on blackfarmers.org. So I don't wish to disagree with you. I stated my case. You said it's a rebuttal. Why don't we move forward? Mm-hmm. We can move forward with the pandemic relief package. Are you familiar with that, sir?
With the who?
Yes. Yes or no? The pandemic.
I didn't hear the question.
Are you familiar, sir, with the pandemic relief package? Yes or no?
Do you really want to have this conversation? Yes, I am. Let's go.
Hold on.
Let's go.
No. It's not. No, we talk.
Let's go. I'm familiar with it. Let's go,
brother. Hold on. We got several people, and I got to be respectful for everybody. We got a lot of people that's on here, and I want to make sure everybody be able to come and ask you different questions and give you an opportunity to respond to everybody's question. We can't turn this part into just you two, though it's good. And people are getting.
Will you give her one question for me under the pandemic relief act? Just one question, I'll answer, and then we can move on.
Cookie.
Okay, sir. You said you are familiar with the pandemic relief package. That is a part of the legislation passed after Biden became president to alleviate some of the losses due to the pandemic. It has specific measures that are meant to pay off farm debt of specifically Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous farmers. The amount of money was $100 million. In addition to the pandemic relief package, Biden passed another piece of legislation called the Inflation Reduction Act. When the inflation rose, $5.3 billion was earmarked for farmers, and $3.1 billion specifically of that was for farmers in distress over loans, property value losses, and people who are at threat of losing their lands. These two things are my next things that I propose that Biden has done specifically for farmers of color, sir.
Okay. So want me to answer that? We're ready to go?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, you have it wrong. The American Rescue Plan Act was there was 2 sections for black farmers that would affect black farmers. There was one that was 1005 to where there was supposed to pay off all the debt for black farmers plus 20% in taxes for any tax liabilities that may arise. That was enjoined by white farmers, and Tom Vilsack specifically delayed the implementation of Section 1005 so that white farmers can successfully challenge in court in some of these conservative states. Okay, now then there was Section 1006 where he is now paying white farmers out of, but black farmers have not been able to recoup one dime out of 1006. And the $100 million you're talking about, There was never $100 million. It was such sums necessary to alleviate, to fix the pandemic. But what you were talking about was through the Inflation Reduction Act, which you alluded to. So somewhere between when the white farmers dropped off got the injunction against the money for black farmers specifically, that $2 billion disappeared, and out of the $2.2 billion is left, only $15 million has been given in debt relief, and this has been 2 years, and the black farmers hadn't received a dime in their pocket yet. Debt relief and actual money in your pocket is two different things. Debt relief carries a tax liability, and that the black farmers cannot pay because of the years and years of discrimination against them, and no money has been put in their pocket. He's delayed that. So don't be disingenuous in saying what Joe Biden has done when you don't enforce anything that Congress has put through. No, that was not genuine on Joe Biden's part. And so you need to, before somebody sends you to somebody like me, you can say what he did, but what has he really done? They actually was a scheme to set up to take the $2.3 billion, 2.3 million acres of land left for black farmers because they can't pay the tax liability associated with the debt relief. Okay, next question, please.
Good deal. Good deal.
Hey, Raheem.
Hold on. I'm coming
to have to hop off. That's why I was wanting to ask a couple things real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I have a lot of curiosity about some of this because I'm an avid researcher and I'm an advocate in my own right for mental health and different issues that are here in Texas. And it's interesting that there were things, and there was, especially back in 2021, where there was the American Rescue Plan, and there was actually a portion of that bill that was allocated for black farmers. And the interesting part to me is under the Trump administration, the white farmers felt discriminated against and won the lawsuit against our country.
Mm-hmm.
So under the same administration. So I just find a lot of things very interesting when we start throwing out president names and this and that, when we have to be looking at our House and Senate issues more than a bloody face. So like I'm hearing what you're saying, and the more I'm looking into all of this stuff, there is so much black tape, so much misdirection, so much illusions. But to me, the part that I'm getting to is our government was accused of, by doing the things for the black farmers, they ended up discriminating against other people, and they won that lawsuit.
Come on, back.
How do we, with the things that you're saying, undo that? Because there are a lot of things in place.
Okay, so the American Rescue Plan Act was actually passed by Joe Biden. Okay, yes, it is true, as I stated earlier, that the white farmers did get an injunction against Section 1005 to pay the black farmers. But however, they could have paid those black farmers through Section 1006. Nothing about the American Rescue Plan Act or the Inflation Reduction Act superseded the Administrative Procedures Act. So what that says is with that being said, there was 22,000 complaints that's been lodged at the Office of Civil Rights by black farmers that never was resolved, and that would have paid the actual damages. So now they were looking for a way to close out those complaints, and they said, okay, well, we'll do this. It was illegal for those people, for the government to close those complaints, because nothing in that law allowed for them to close out those claims by the black farmers that would pay the actual damages. But Tom Vilsack, to no surprise to anybody who follows up with this, Tom Vilsack is a racist. He's had racist behaviors. Joe Biden is the same way. So for the money that was allocated to black farmers, why has it taken it 3 years and two separate acts to put any money in the pockets of black farmers? But when white farmers, they can get their money as soon as something passes within 2 weeks. you have to look at what they're playing, but they're playing off the black leadership that really does not care about what's happening to black farmers. And they're in these rooms when legislation is being passed, when things are being thought of. They're not asking black farmers how that affects you. They're out there saying, well, we asked the secretary and he said this. Why would you ask the source of the problem? So we've got a problem. That's why I keep saying we've got a problem with our leadership, because they're so happy to be at the table. They don't care about the constituents. And I'm not trying to yell at you, because you're asking a very good question, but I'm giving you the answer. And I might be emotional behind it because I've been a victim of Tom Vilsack. I've lost millions of dollars behind Tom Vilsack. So I'm trying to tell you what the truth is. And when, there is a major problem. And like I said, our thing is we've never could feed ourselves. Well, again, if you could find the money to give Ukrainian farmers an opportunity to set up an infrastructure, then why couldn't you do the same for black farmers? And there was no cap on the relief that they could give to black farmers under the American Rescue Plan Act. So they hurried in there and put a cap on the kind of relief they could give to black farmers, which won't get nowhere near the amount of cap, the cap money under the Inflation Reduction Act. So I hope I answered your question, but that was the differences between the two.
Good deal. Leonard. Badger, hurry up, Badger. We got a lot of people on here, brother. We got a lot of people.
And the only other thing I was wanting to ask about is, what about the October 27th U.S. District Court settlement that was approved for James Copeland, Earl Moore, Marshall McNeil, where it was $1.2 billion that were to be split among thousands of plaintiffs.
And that was in 2023?
Yep.
Okay, what district or which state was that in?
It was a federal case.
Yeah, it was federal.
Yeah, but which state was it out of?
It's not one state. It was at the federal level, which covered everyone that was a part of it.
Yeah, which covered several states, is what he's saying.
Okay, let me ask you this. So there still had to be a district court that relied on one state. Was that the same court that Tom Burrell was in? Because I'm not familiar with that settlement.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to simply know what state the federal court resided in. And was it strictly on the black farm issue, or was, what was the issue that the settlement was devised under?
So you're not fully informed.
Well, it may be something that it may be something that it may be something he's not aware of at this particular time. I just want to be fair. I want to be fair.
Can I ask one question?
One question. Go ahead, Mr.
Brother. Yes, sir. My question is this: How do you maintain your energy and focus when you have to battle against so many minds that don't want to see the reality of the truth? And I think if you go back to my question, here's my question. Going over the history since Reconstruction, when we were able to purchase and buy land, the conspiracy from that time to this, was it a one political side thing, or was it just both sides at different time playing the same game?
Well, if you remember correctly,
and there was actually my point right there. And that's what I said about when I asked the question about Trump administration in comparison to Biden, and it's across the board. It's not one particular element that's doing it.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But if you remember, it was the Republicans who, at the beginning of the civil rights, were, I guess, under Abraham Lincoln, where we actually got our freedom. Yeah. But both parties have dogged black people all the way up through, and we're lying to ourselves if we say that it's just the Republicans that's done this. The Democrats have done the same thing, but the Democrats, what they have done, they have allowed black people to become members of the parties and represent more so than the Republicans have. So, to me, but both of them have dogged this. They've dogged this to no end. And that's why I say I'm an independent. we're gonna never get our fair share as long as we're here, not in our lifetime. But what I can say is that we should use the extremism on both sides against both parties, and we should start supporting independent candidates, because what we do know is that, and the White House has recognized this, Joe Biden cannot win without black vote. So why won't we get something for our vote? That's the bigger question.
Mm-hmm. And you have a point. He cannot, but at the same time, I deal with both sides of the coin. Nor can Trump. And I know this is not a Biden against Trump, and you're independent. You already said that. And so I appreciate the fact that you did acknowledge the fact and let people know that you're independent. But neither side can win without the black vote. And so what would have to happen in that instance is we have to make sure that we hold them accountable for the vote that we're going to give them. So I do agree with you in regards to that. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, actually, I'm just listening because there's a lot of things going on in the conversation as it relates to
your phone is low, Leonard.
Let me turn. Well, there's a lot of things going on as it relates to the politics of the matter. However, I'm very curious to know if your guest has applied and been denied for these funds.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit more history. So I filed a discrimination complaint back in 2008. I lost that farm that I filed a complaint on in 2014, where the complaints went unresolved. Okay, and so things were happening. I'm in the meat distribution business now. And so when they started handing out money through the pandemic, through the American Rescue Plan Act, we filled out grants and everything else. Well, Tom Vilsack himself stated that 99.9% of all the funds that have pandemic money that has been given out has gone to white farmers or white owned businesses. So he's acknowledging that they're still discriminating against black farmers, and our black leadership hadn't said anything about it. So now, as far as me applying for the funds, yes, I actually have filed court procedures to where I'm still trying to get my money under the American Rescue Plan Act under 1006. And have I applied for the money under the American Rescue Plan Act? I'm in court basically saying the 6th Circuit and 5th Circuit has already ruled that you can't use a third party to administer a congressional act. We're waiting for the judge to decide on that now, and especially putting a deadline out there. And a bigger question is that when white farmers apply for pandemic relief, their application is 3 pages long. Black farmers, through that Inflation Reduction Act, through the hubs, is 40 pages long. So there's a discrepancy. So our question before the court is it constitutional to continue to separate these classes of people and allow the USDA to basically put a poll tax on black people applying for these funds? And have I applied for the funds? The answer is yes. If I missed anything, come back and tell me. I'm sorry, man.
And so there's discrepancy in the way that they're handling this is your point.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they're basically putting a poll tax on black farmers, because again, white farmers had a 3-page application. Money was showing up in white farmers' accounts that they didn't even ask for.
Go ahead.
And that was back in 2021. So now we're in 2024. Black people are having to jump through.
Farmers Association.
That's who?
No. It was somebody called in. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, okay. So now we're in 2024. They're making black farmers fill out a 40-page application, and they're asking for documents that black farmers can't produce, and only they can give to black farmers. So, but you in a catch-all 22. I'm trying to watch my language. I'm sorry about that. So it makes me stutter. So it's a catch-all, to black farmers. It's like, how can you ask me for paperwork and who discriminated to me to where it does not have a timeline in which the discrimination occurred? So if you take some of these older black farmers that's 80 years old and some of this discrimination occurred back in the 1960s, how do you expect him to have paperwork from that?
So is there a 3-page whites only application?
Yes, it doesn't say whites only, but it's whites only. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So why wouldn't you choose the 3-page application?
It's not available to black farmers. That's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
They're making a distinction under the 1006. That's where they're getting paid from. In the county committee system, which we are contesting, that's been around since the late 1940s. They are the local farmers that are making the decisions for the USDA. So the county committee system are deciding whether or not the white farmers get the pandemic relief. And most of the time, they don't even have completed applications. They're saying, yeah, you should pay these farmers, and the USDA is just signing off on it. That's not the same with the black farmers trying to get the same or get some type of relief through the Inflation Reduction Act.
Because I'm very familiar with the discrimination portion of the argument. Mm-hmm. And the funds that was set aside because of that particular lawsuit. Now, is there an issue where it's either or you want both?
I want both. So that's why I sued in court, and I'm still pending in court because I want both, because I want the same thing that I should have been entitled to under 1006 and under American Rescue Plans. And so don't put me in a box with black farmers and give me, say, hey, you owe me $5 million and I'm gonna get $20,000 and be glad that I'll let you breathe the white man's air. No, I'm not getting down like that. That's not who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because I was just trying to understand, because him as an individual, I understand, but I don't think he speaks for the majority of farmers.
Well, how about the Cowtown Foundation filed a suit on behalf of all black farmers to get the same thing that I'm entitled to individually? So that's in the DC court, and it's in the DC Court of Appeals right now. So yeah, I am standing up for all black farmers.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this question, brother. And we got quite a few other people. We got a young lady just called, and I think she's from the Black Farmers Organization. But you said that your organization filed a lawsuit. How many other farmers, other black farmers, did you speak to that gave you the permission to file on their behalf?
There were 8,000 black farmers that petitioned the DC court as members of the as black farmers, as member of the Cowtown Foundation, asking us to represent their interest, and the judge granted us representing their interest on trying to get money that was allocated under the American Rescue Plan Act. So that's a pretty fair number, 8,000 to come in asking us to represent their interest from the American Rescue Plan Act.
Okay. I got somewhere else I could go with that, but I'm going to be fair to everybody that's on. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
Can I go, like, I want this young lady that's from the black farmers, can she talk? I'll concede my time.
Absolutely.
To her.
We got a young lady from the 804 area code. Don't have your name. What's your name, young lady? From the black farmers.
Kara.
Kara? Can I call you Kara?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Miss Kara, you have a question or comment?
Well, no, I'm actually John Boyd's wife, the founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. And I serve as the event and program coordinator for the National Black Farmers Association. And I had a member who called and alerted me to this conversation and asked me if I would listen in and, possibly call in and share some of my thoughts in the work for the NBFA. And I was, a little disheartened to hear Mr. Corey Lee saying that the Black leadership isn't speaking up about this issue. John Boyd has been leading this issue for over 40 years. Many people may not know that John Boyd is the gentleman who drove his mule and wagon to D.C. He is the farmer who drove his tractor to D.C. He's the farmer that lobbied and filed all 4 discrimination cases on behalf of Black farmers, Native American farmers, women farmers, and Hispanic farmers, along with his attorney, Alexander Pyreet. So, this has been an ongoing struggle. We weren't happy completely with Section 1005, which was the relief for farmers of color that passed in the American Rescue Plan Act, but it did give 120% debt relief to roughly a little under 16,000 farmers of color. Only 2,000, a little over 2,000 of that number was actually Black farmers. So a lot of times the term Black farmers is being used with amounts of money that isn't solely allocated for Black farmers. So the $4 billion in debt relief and the $1 billion that was in Section 1006. So there were two sections under the American Rescue Plan Act that provided relief for farmers of color. And that used the 1990s definition for socially disadvantaged. So those weren't money specifically for Black farmers, but it was for farmers of color. And when that was repealed in the Inflation Reduction Act under Section 22008, actually repealed Section 1005, it did not repeal Section 1006 of the American Rescue Plan Act. Section 2206 provided $3.1 billion for distressed borrowers. So that created a new term. So they replaced the term from ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act, that said farmers of color, with this newly coined term, distressed borrowers. If you're in financial lending or the financial industry, you can Google and look up a distressed loan, but there is no term distressed borrower. So that was a newly created term that had to be defined. And then $2.2 billion was allocated for this discrimination financial assistance program, which we totally were opposed to because the language just wasn't in there, and it was for any form of discrimination for any farmer. And so we've been very outspoken. We're very disappointed with the Biden administration. We've been very disappointed with Secretary Tom Vilsack at USDA, and we've been very vocal and visible in our efforts to address that, but to also address the misinformation and miscommunication that unfortunately prevented probably tens of thousands of Black farmers from meeting the extended deadline of January 17 to participate in that discrimination financial assistance program. The one main issue I'd like to raise that we had with that financial program is that it was for any farmer, white, Black, purple, it didn't matter. It wasn't based on race. For any form of discrimination. So it could be marital status, it could be religion, it could be disability, it could be age, gender. All of those types of discrimination fell underneath that federal program. And also not only farmers, and the law said farmers who've been discriminated in a farm lending program at USDA prior to 2021, the program made the eligibility open to anyone who attempted to farm. So that took a pot of money that initially, was $1 billion for farmers who had farmers of color who had been discriminated against, was in Section 1006. That was never petitioned or no lawsuits filed against it, to create this new language in the Inflation Reduction Act that now opened it up to any farmer, any form of discrimination. And it said up to $500,000 based upon consequences. But when you read through the eligibility for the program, it says that no one was going to receive up to $500,000 and that awards would be based upon the number of applications. Well, the number of applications shouldn't have anything to do with the individual receiving the compensation that was defined in the law up to $500,000. So even before this law was passed, my husband and I, John Boyd, the National Black Farmers Association and Association of American Indian Farmers, we were out, we were talking, we were with members of Congress, Senator Cory Booker, Representative Clyburn in South Carolina, many elected officials saying this is not good. It's not defined. It is not going to be good for our people. We're going to be left out. So it's going to be very interesting to see actually how many Black people are able to prevail or to receive money through this process. The other issue with this recently closed program, you can no longer apply for it. They're in the review and decision-making process. The decision is final, and USDA has the final say. So the very people that discriminated against you are going to get a list with your name on it and decide if you can get money or not.
Wow.
And to me, that is not in alignment with what we advocated for in Congress for the program to be administered by a third party neutral.
Good deal.
So
Good deal.
basically, USDA hired, with no competition, 3 vendors. They set up the programs. It was overseen by Monica Range in the Office of Civil Rights. So I'm giving facts here. And anyone who wants to look this up, hopefully I've given you enough references through what I've said. But you can go to our website, blackfarmers.org, and see more of our references, our articles, and what we've been saying over the past 2 to 3 years, and also the status of Boyd versus U.S. government, because just like 40 acres, President Biden signed into law that those 16,000 farmers were going to get 120% debt relief. And then he again, in law, in the Inflation Reduction Act, repealed that. So he broke his own, not only promise, but he broke his own law, and they took it back from those farmers. And many of those farmers had went out and had made other financial decisions. So they took on other loans or made other improvements to their farms. And then all of a sudden now they owe that money again. And that was not right. That is definitely a financial breach of agreement. And if those farmers had done that, they would be entitled to damages. So therefore, we believe that the farmers who received those FSA 2601s are entitled to that. Also, I don't mean to be rambling here. Through that, Section 1005, the debt relief, USDA only communicated with the FSA direct borrowers. There are 2 types of borrowers at FSA.
Yeah, hold on one second. I got more people into the conversation. You're giving us a lot of information, a lot of valuable information. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you very much. Please hang out with us if you can. But I got a question. Okay, you got another question?
For the guest, is there an issue with his filing as it relates to how he is proving that he suffered injury?
No. See, another part is like, first of all, I want to thank Ms. Boyd for coming in and saying what she said. So basically, she substantiated everything I told you guys that the Biden administration was doing.
No.
Okay, will you tell me what was different?
Somebody said no. Who said no? Somebody said no.
I said no, but let him go ahead and talk.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we can agree on that there's been a difference on how the Biden administration has handled the stuff with the black farmers. We can agree on that the Inflation Reduction Act does not go far enough and did not go nowhere near the provisions that was in the American Rescue Plan Act, and that, as Ms. Boyd kind of substantiated, that it was the actual damages that the black farmers, like when she spoke of when Section 1005 would have gave 120% of the debt relief, that would have been much better than putting a cap on $500,000, and more than likely you're not going to get $500,000 from the whole deal. Can we not agree on that? So, I mean, but I want to find out what the difference is. Basically, she read the legislation and that I pretty much told everything to. She said no, we didn't agree on it. Not Ms. Boyd said that, but whoever was saying no, is that if I'm not saying it was word for word everything that I said, but it was 99% of everything that I said that we actually agree on.
Let's find out. It was Cassandra that said no, so let's find out why she said no. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
No, I wasn't. My no was not so much in what Ms. Boyd said, because I feel like she laid it out because she used actual figures, and that's my thing. If you're going to give statistics or whatever, just make sure that you're giving correct information. And since the gentleman made it political, I didn't. If you look at the reports for Trump, he gave 0.1% of help to black farmers when he was in. So I don't know where this gentleman, his statistics are coming from. I would like him to post it so that we can read it, how much Trump gave to black farmers, because on Google, because that's my source, to find out what has happened, there was 0.1% that was given to farmers during the Trump administration. So if he has something different, can he just post it? Because, you know, I just want to see, let me read it for myself and then, you know, and do my own research, and I'm all in. But he made it political, saying what Biden did, and Ms. Boyd made it plain about, you know, the disappointment in what Biden had done and him going back. And we check him on that. We need to check him on that, and they're doing that. But to just, you know, make it political, like, you know, I'm gonna stop because you know where I'm going. I'm gonna stop right there. But just 1% is what they said that Trump did for Black farmers during his administration.
Mm-hmm. And Raheem, is your guest in any debt at all?
I can't speak on that, but we can definitely ask him. Yes, Corey. He asked, "Are you as a Black farmer? Are you in debt?"
At one time, I owed them just a little over $360,000, and now I owe them, according to them, under $20,000, and that's been litigated in court.
Because I see that you're claiming to be a socially disadvantaged farmer.
Do I not fit the description of a socially disadvantaged farmer?
Well, I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. But the court's opinion is that you have not proven your case that you are socially disadvantaged or that you are in debt or anything like that, and that you may not even be eligible.
Do you know the definition of a socially disadvantaged farmer?
Excuse me?
Do you know the definition of a socially disadvantaged farmer?
No, not really, because it's very general.
Okay, well, let me educate you a little bit. It basically has the same characteristics as a cohort. Basically, you're a member of a protected class. Mm-hmm. Basically, a non-white male. You can be Black, you can be Hispanic, you can be Native American, you can be a woman. You can be, you know, you can say that I'm Jewish. You got to be a member of a protected class. That's what the member of a social disadvantaged farmer is. On my birth certificate, it says that I'm a Black male. By their own definition, I'm a socially disadvantaged farmer.
But are you able to prove that you suffered injury other than this social disadvantage issue?
Okay. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Let's keep this thing going. Let's keep it going. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Tucson, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the mute button.
Come on.
My only thing that I'm saying is we've been fighting this fight for years, and we know the fight is really serious. So instead of trying to get that, we got two people on the line already now that possibly can get together. Have you ever communicated with Ms. Boyd and prior to this conversation?
No, I've never spoken to her. Like I said, I'm not, as I stated earlier.
Now, Corey, you know we have exchanged emails.
No, you said if we've ever gotten together to come together. This was a question asked. I said, no, we've never had a conversation, and which you haven't. But what I am going to say is I do applaud their effort from this fight all the way up through. I do that. I might be a little bit more extreme, but I'm not discounting what they have tried to do. In fact, as recently as October or maybe September 2023, they actually tried to file a class lawsuit in the Court of Federal Claims on behalf of Black farmers. I applaud that all day long because at least they're trying to do something to help Black farmers as a whole. I have no problem with that. We just might see a few things different, but anytime they're trying to make a betterment for the Black farmers and ranchers as a whole, you'll never hear me say nothing.
What are some of the common grounds that you all have in regards to you all's fight for Black farmers?
Well, one is that even we can go recent because of the legislation for the pandemic was passed. And John Boyd has been active on Capitol Hill, hobnobbing with some of the membership. And when I did say earlier the Black leadership, I meant the members of Congress and in some of the advocate groups. But I really don't put the Black leadership in the hands of the advocates, because one, only thing we can do is raise all kinds of cane. Where Congress, as Black leadership, they have the opportunity to make changes legislatively. But what they have done was, and she explained it herself, they have talked with Cory Booker, they've talked with Warnock, they've talked with James Clyburn. They did try to make a difference to make the Black leadership see what was going on. So I have no problem with that. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of fight they want me to wage with John Boyd. I'm not going to. But I have no problem with them trying to help Black farmers as a whole. What kind of fool would I be to do that?
Okay. Hold on. How could you all bring those two worlds together? How can y'all bring the two worlds together to make a positive difference for Black farmers?
It's going to take more than me and the Boyds to stop this problem. The best thing, I mean, in fact, they hired a very competent attorney. Was it Ben Crump's law firm that they took action in the Court of Federal Claims? And, you know, that's another thing. The Dred Scott decision still pretty much lives in the court system because the media won't cover or shine the light on what the courts are doing to Black farmers. Then they're going to do what they want to do. But you got to think, there are not a whole lot of Black judges up there, and some of them we question. And but for the most part, the courts are not interested in making Black people rich. And I don't care what president appointed a judge and a federal judge, they're not interested in making Black people rich. I promise you that. And I don't care what the government has done. You're essentially playing the federal government on their home field. When their checks come to federal judges, it says the United States Treasury on there. So how easy do you think it's going to be for us? It's not going to be easy at all.
Tucson, was that you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that she knows it's not easy. He knows it's not easy. But together you can do better rather than saying, okay, well, I'm going to do without you. It's kind of set like the same entities going in the same direction, fighting the same fight, and then separating. That ain't gonna work.
Wow, that's good.
Well, I would like to speak to that if I can.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not two separate worlds. This is one issue, and John Boyd has spearheaded the Black farmers issue. And, you know, Secretary Vilsack and others have said, well, how we get around John Boyd is we go out there and we work with these other little splinter groups. And we can say we did this for Black farmers and we did that. And, you know, it's always been a divide and conquer, you know, and I can say that a lot of people don't know the history, but John Boyd actually received the first racial discrimination in 1997. There are written letters that are a part of the act of a congressional record on the State of Black Farmers hearing from back in, I want to say, March of 20. I put all of that in. I documented the historical discrimination against John Boyd and other Black farmers. And, you know, he wasn't a part of Pickford because he had already got his settlement, but they used the story and the documentation to go on through Pickford. He went back and there were Black leaders. I could show you the emails who said they were going to picket John Boyd and boycott him because he was out there picketing the Obama administration to get the NRA Black farmers done for the late filers. President Obama told John Boyd that they would work on the Black farmer issue during his first campaign. When he was elected to office, his staff told John, oh, we'll work on that in the second term. John said, no, we're going to work on it now. And he took to the streets. It's not always easy being a leader, and not everybody's going to stand with you and walk with you, but most of them will show up if you get a victory.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'd just like to say.
Yes.
You know, we've been out there, we've been in the trenches, we continue to be in the trenches. You can go and look at the certificates of satisfaction where John Boyd had liens against him that were supposed to be satisfied in the 1997 settlement agreement with USDA. That agreement is not notarized. It's signed by Ira Hubb, who was the operations manager at USDA, and John Boyd and his attorney. It wasn't recorded anywhere. And in 2018, John and I went to buy a farm, and the title company came back after a title search and said we couldn't use the farm for collateral because there was over $600,000 in liens to USDA.
Wow.
2018. Wow. But John Boyd has a settlement agreement, a 2-page paper on USDA type letterhead that says all of his USDA debt was going to be forgiven because of the egregious racial discrimination. Mm-hmm. But it didn't happen, and they had to go back and file those certificates of satisfaction. We filed a complaint through the Office of Civil Rights at USDA, and they said, oh, well, USDA, got it right. And most people don't understand, especially Black farmers, that it's the farmer's responsibility to remove the liens that USDA puts on their property. Mm-hmm. Well, how can I remove them as a farmer if they don't give me those certificates? Mm-hmm. And when we went to our local county office, the current farm manager went in there and pulled a file on John Boyd. Well, John Boyd hasn't owed USDA anything since 1997. So if their document retainer agreement is for 7 to 10 years, then why was there a file in the local office on John Boyd after 30 years?
Yeah. Wow.
And in that file were prepared certificates of satisfaction. They had been drafted in accordance with the settlement agreement, but the director had never signed them and they had never been notarized. So therefore, how were they mailed to John Boyd's attorney or to John Boyd to remove the lien? Mm-hmm. Therefore, substantiating why the liens were still on his property. Imagine if John Boyd was deceased or we couldn't find those 2-page agreement, I would be homeless and severely indebted to USDA with over $600,000 of erroneous accounting because they never loaned the man that much money with compounding daily interest.
Wow.
These are the things that we want people to know that happened. Mm-hmm. It was real. It was systemic. The culture still exists there. USDA will not be able to self-correct. It's not able to fix itself. Mm-hmm. And that's been the problem. We've had decades of reports. We didn't need another equity commission to sit down around the table and look at all the past years of recommendations that have never taken place to rewrite them and submit them again for tens of millions of dollars. That money should have went to build capacity and infrastructure for these Black farmers who have been financially harmed over decades.
Good deal. Stay right there. Hold on for a minute. Don't go to work. Corey, coming to you, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, that same thing just happened to me last year. They said I owed them $180,000 and I didn't owe them anything. Mm-hmm. And that comes from interest that has been accumulated that it won't give you an opportunity. And this is what happens to all Black farmers, what I tried to explain earlier. They won't give you an opportunity to resolve any complaint there, but at the whole time that the interests are building up on these loans. And in most cases, there are decades. There's a gentleman out of Georgia, out of Augusta, Georgia, who's had loans with them. And the interest was like $1.2 million. Now, how's he going to pay the taxes on that? You know, and if he couldn't pay the loan, but you never resolve his complaint, then this is tax liability. And I think Ms. Boyd, you know, she understands it because she does this every day. This Inflation Reduction Act is going to hurt more Black farmers than it's going to help because they're not going to get the money to pay the tax liability that's associated with that debt relief. You know, and then the IRS, then the DOJ is going to get a judgment on your place. And then here comes the IRS to want to collect. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to sell it off. So this is a catch-22. So, you know, I'm glad she's, you know, going further and explaining. I was trying to give you hot points, but at the end of the day, we agree on the same thing. This legislation is not good. And to answer the last question is why we couldn't come together. I'm mainly focused on court battles, you know, and they're more of grassroots and they deal more with the farmers, but our concentration are with the courts and what can we get done through the court system to try to doggone change this thought process on how the United States treats Black farmers and ranchers.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Phone lines are open 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Very awkward time to do this, but I got to do my shout out to my mom. My mom watching this morning. Mama, love you dearly, baby. Appreciate you watching this morning. Joseph, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, man. And what a powerful discussion you're having this morning.
Hey, to God be the glory, brother. Absolutely. What's on your heart?
Well, a lot, but I'm glad to hear these two great men and women sharing with us the information we need to have. You know, I've had some interaction with Black farmers during the 90s when I was working with the NAACP. But one thing we all should know by now is that soon as any politician, president or otherwise, announce that they're going to do something for Black people, there's going to be other entities lining up to find out ways to circumvent that or sabotage it.
Go get pushback.
Just as the Republicans tried to sabotage the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, they have systems in place. They have think tanks. You know, our think tanks, I think, are either underfunded or very weak. Usually it consists of a few people doing the research and, you know, trying to keep up with all the tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be exhausting. I heard my brother say this. It could be exhausting trying to fight all of these battles. Because when you think you got one solved, somebody over in Texas may come up with something. Mm-hmm. Just like they did with the affirmative action thing. You know, constantly finding new applicants to come forward to file lawsuits to undermine affirmative action. So this has been the trick since we have been on this soil. All right, in the political apparatuses, whether state or federal, there's always been these tricks. And these good old boys go back in the back smoke-filled back room and chuckle and laugh at us because they said again, well, we got another one over on there. But the white farmers always tend to benefit. Not to say that they don't have no problems too, because I know they do too. In fact, a lot of white farmers went out of business under Trump. A lot of them suffered under Trump. So, and we're looking at this thing holistically, but we as Black people should know by now, they have systems in place to undermine any piece of legislation that's going to help us. Now, we have to be prepared to tangle with that too. Mm-hmm. And if we miss it, just like my brother said, we'll end up paying interest rate on loans that we don't even have, you know, in some cases. And we're saddled with new debts. But that's all in the effort to keep us from progressing and getting the wealth that we should have had years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generational wealth that should have been passed down. They're afraid that we will educate our children. They will take over Congress. They will move into these top positions. They will start businesses that will flourish, and we'll have corporations, and then we'll be buying the politicians. Mm-hmm. They're afraid, and we'll get in there and do what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, and they should be afraid because they're wicked.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Powerful conversation we're having today, man. I'm definitely yes, sir.
I want to take this time, if you will. I'm going to send you over the link, and I want you to share it with your members. On February the 1st, we're having a Black Farmers Town Hall. Ms. Boyd, y'all are welcome to attend and even be panelists on there. We're going to take questions from Black farmers. Shelly Winters out of Atlanta on 95.5. He's going to moderate it. This discussion that you're having is very fruitful for us to be able to put the information out to Black America, at large. And you are very knowledgeable. You're a very good host of this. And like, even with the lady, I might not even agree with, that was asking me the questions. I would love for her to come on the panel or come on the Black Farmers Town Hall. And any concerns you have, either I can answer it or the other panelists will answer it, or we can try to figure it out. But the conversations need to be had, and the rest of Black America need to see what's really going down with this administration. As it relates to Black farmers and ranchers.
Now, that might be something you and I need to talk about off air, where maybe I could bring my television crew down and we can actually televise it as well. That may be something we might need to talk about. A young lady was about to say something. Who was that?
That was me.
Okay, go ahead. That's Cookie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted to say a couple of things. I wanted to give our thanks to Mrs. Boyd for all of the detailed information that she provided. We also, of course, want to thank Mr. Lee for taking the time to have the conversation with us. I want to make a distinction, if I could, toward Mr. Lee. The distinction is that there seems to have been a distinct shift in tone with the presence of Mrs. Boyd. So we know that sometimes God always has a ram in the bush. There's a saying in science that energy never dies. It is either transferred or transformed. My challenge to you, Mr. Lee, is that you find a way to transform whatever it is that you have that has you angry with the system. We only have one system with which to operate. And so we have to find a way to achieve the thing that we wish to achieve within the boundaries of that system. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar, sir.
That's not necessarily true. That is not necessarily true, because with this administration and with this court system.
Hold on, let her finish. Let her finish. Yeah. I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
What I'm going to do at this moment, sir, is I'm going to let you have the floor, because I don't think that it's productive to go back and forth. But I thank you for the discussion, sir. Have a good day, Mr. Lee.
To the analogy of you catch more flies with honey than you do with salt. That's not necessarily true, because with this administration, if you don't raise 30 kinds of cane, you ain't gonna get nothing. In fact, they gave me debt relief on a farm that on money I didn't even owe them. It wasn't because I was silent. It's because I'm out here beating these doggone bushes, and I understand what the scheme is and to where they are. But see, the catch is this. I just didn't stop and say, hey, I got a little debt relief. I went into the courts, and I'm fighting on behalf of all Black farmers. So do I have to raise cane? Yes, I do. But because I'm raising so much cane along with the boards that applied some stuff in the court, some of this stuff got shifted in favor of the Black farmers. So make no mistake about it. But if I sat there on that doggone farm and said nothing, these white folks would run all over top of us, and we never have a voice. So yeah, I might get a little voice, I might get excited, but ask any of them, do they want to face me in the courthouse? And the answer is going to be no. I promise you that.
Mr. Boyd, none of that addresses what I said to you. None of it. What you have done here is you have behaved poorly in the presence of a woman. We're attempting to have
opinion. That's your opinion.
Hold on, Ms. Tick. Hold on.
May I finish?
Yes, go ahead.
So there appears to be something that we discussed earlier today, how Black women are treated, even by our own men. A simple discussion is not able to be had without you somehow challenging my intellect or my thoroughness, sir. That's very disheartening to me. But I wish you well with all of your challenges, sir, and I hope that some of it is fruitful. Have a good day, sir.
Good deal. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother?
I don't know, man.
Come on,
got deep in here. Deep in here.
Hey, Friday conversation. How do Friday conversations get, brother? It's Friday. Today's Friday.
So, sir, I'm gonna ask you just a specific general question. Are you? No.
Mr. Lee. Okay.
Our guest, Mr. Lee.
Okay.
Are you a supporter of America First?
I answered that from the start. No, I'm not. If you're relating that to Donald Trump and that,
no, sir, this has nothing to do with politics. I feel you're doing yourself a disservice by bringing politics into this. If you were focusing on, this is just my opinion, and this is no disrespect to you at all, so don't take it that way. If you were focusing on what you're doing and left the administrations out of it, I think you'd get more play here. I heard you mention Ukraine and the money that they sent to Ukraine and how that could have been better serviced here in this country. My background is I used to work with, we'll say, natives and other countries like Ukraine that, as most of us know, Native Americans in this country, some of the land that they were given, they can't grow anything on. One of the groups that I worked with to help them grow food was given an old ammunition dump as their reservation. So you can guess how the food turns out when they try to grow. I worked with Ukraine for about 2 years trying to help them grow food. And we sent millions of dollars as well as equipment to the Ukraine to try and help them stabilize and grow crops to feed their people. And all we got in return was theft. They stole all of our money and all of our equipment. Even the hired military that we put over there around it stole.
Wow.
So my point in asking you that is I understand what you're saying, and I agree that we should never send anything over there, because where did it go? Where'd that money go? Because it sure didn't go to feeding those people. It went in their pockets.
Well, the $25 billion is a substantial amount of money. From to that point, it's probably well taken. You probably received that well. But my thing is, why does Black people always have to wait? We don't have tomorrow as Black people. We got today. Because if we sit back and this is our taxpayers' dollars that are going over there. But however, even when we send our men and women to war in foreign nations, they're still fighting for liberties we don't enjoy here. So I'm tired of sitting there having to wait, because as this discussion is going to since 2021, which is roughly 3 years ago, that the Black farmers still don't have anything, not to put in their pocket. So it may be the answer to your question, am I America first? No, I'm Black America first, at least Black farmer, Black rancher first, because I'm tired of waiting. I've been waiting for a long time, and I want mine now.
Wow.
And I understand what you're saying, but do you think by putting yourself out there with that specific statement that you're pushing away other people that may not be Black? Because I'm a white guy, if you haven't figured that out yet, that would be sympathetic to your cause, because there's a whole majority of us out here that agree that Black farmers and Black people in general need help. But I think that when you speak
Ryan,
in a generalized,
in a roundabout way, you're saying it's very divisive.
It's kind of divisive. It's off-putting to someone who may not be Black. You know what I'm saying? So, like for me, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to investigate what you have to say, and I want to see Black people get what they deserve, because they're the same as me, and they should be treated the same as me. But we have to approach things in a manner where we're not so turned up, if you will, because it pushes away, especially the elderly white community that has all the money, pushes them away. They don't want to help you.
I've got a response to that, Ron, and I appreciate what you're saying. The problem with that is you might have good intentions, and you're probably a great guy. I mean, I'm not a racist person, but the problem is when there are certain sectors of white people, as the gentleman spoke earlier there, that like to undermine any legislation for Black people, y'all don't speak up against them. And then we got to sit there and be on the other end of this nonsense. So yeah, you're probably a great person, and yeah, it may push you away, but channel that same energy towards those forces that consistently are trying to doggone deprive Black America of a better tomorrow. So yeah, I've got to speak up, because if I don't speak up, we're going to stay in the same position. That's at the bottom of the doggone pile. And that's not what God told me to do. He told me, hey, you got to go to him, brother. You're going to have to do the ability that you have given me in the courtrooms, the ability to be an advocate, a strong voice for it. I've got to speak up, because like I said, when white people do this to Black people, just like they did in the American Rescue Plan Act, I did not see white America running and protesting against those white farmers who got that injunction against that money that was allocated to Black farmers. Not a one. I ain't heard a thing from them. So if I don't speak up, I darn sure don't need you to speak up for me. I got my own mouth.
Let me ask you this question, Corey. Do you think, outside looking in, inside looking out, are you and Miss Cora, or you Miss Cora, Mr. Board, are y'all fighting the same fight, or just going about it fighting the same fight?
Pretty much so, yes.
In a different
I
way.
would say so. And that's the reason why, I forgot the lady's name at the conference, maybe. That's the reason why my tone changed, because basically in a roundabout way, she was substantiating everything that I was telling you about what this administration was doing. So yeah, my tone was going to change. And because it's okay. Well, she's agreeing with what I'm saying, even though she probably didn't hear the first part. And the young lady says, well, your tone changed according to what you said to me. When you come in directly challenging me on something I know that's not true, it's not because you're a black woman. It's because what you're saying is not true. And it's going to be to the detriment to the people listening that's going to listen to that nonsense. So, yeah, you have to be corrected, not because you was black, because you were speaking untruths. And basically, you were trying to split the same mission that what common ground we did have with the boys. You was trying to split it up just because you wanted to ride with the boys. I have nothing against them, but don't come challenging something, especially with something that's not true.
Good deal.
Raheem,
hold on. 508 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Real quickly, we run a long time. I got a couple other people I want to touch, so go ahead, Cookie, real quickly.
Yeah, let me correct him. I was indeed correct in everything that I said. You talked about the Biden administration not doing anything, and I gave you specific literature, dates, and monetary amounts. Mrs. Boyd was kind enough to come in and agree that those things were indeed factual and correct. However, they were not thorough enough. That is true and correct, both of us. What you said was disingenuous and misleading. You specifically said Biden had done zero and that no black farmers had gotten compensation under these acts. So you, sir, were definitely incorrect.
We got to keep. Hold on. I got a few other people I want to touch, and we can actually revisit this conversation again if you all I want to do so, and we can extend and then go a little further. I even go as far as to do my own town hall, and have everybody come together. And it's gonna be here in Atlanta. I ain't going on the way everybody at. It's gonna be here in Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you where it's gonna be at. But let me go.
I'm all for it. You only 200 miles from me, bro.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in Miss Boyd. I love you all for you to be here as well, if that's at all possible. You and your husband, if that's possible. Okay.
Everybody else is jumping in. Can I jump in?
Let me go to Will and Curtis. They hadn't had a chance to say anything.
How we gonna play the rules now?
Hold on.
I sit patiently. You let people jump back and forth.
Mr. Hicks, come on now. Don't do it like that. Listen
I'm gonna call you.
Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks. Okay, if you want me to be fair, there's two people that hadn't said anything at all the whole broadcast. Am I being fair to them?
You're giving other people length of time.
Mr. Hicks, there's two people that have not said Hicks. There's two people that have not said anything through the whole broadcast. Am I being fair to them? You have had an opportunity to speak, correct? There's two people that have not said a word the whole broadcast. Am I being fair? If you want to talk about being fair, am I being fair to them?
Let's do it. If you're going to put a time limit on this, and that's been your format. You had a bell that rang, like every person have a specific time, and you cut them off, ring a bell that time. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm saying now, you're letting down people to come on and carry the conversation. You don't let me. I was going to say this one thing, bro. They don't want the truth.
Mr. Hicks, my thing is this right here. Different situations afford different you have to deal with different things differently. If I had a cookie cutter way that I do everything, I'll be very boring. It'll be very boring. Different situations, you have to deal with them differently. This is a different situation that we have today, and so I'm giving people the freedom to voice their opinion because there's so much to say. Willow.
Good morning, Raheem.
Good morning, ma'am. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing great this morning. Good morning, Morning Glow. Very, very, very professional mediator you are. Very professional.
Thank you.
I'm loving it.
Thank you.
I think that was awesome how you handled that. Mm-hmm. Because it is, we don't hear these people often, and they're coming with a lot of facts, a lot of numbers, and things that I'm learning about something that I didn't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not a farmer. I'm a city woman. I'm a city girl,
mm-hmm.
So I'm learning what fights other people have to go through. We're very familiar with fights. Mm-hmm. We choose our own battles, and I like how, I think it was Cookie, how she's just trying to help. She's trying to help, not hurt. Mm-hmm. And see, it's like this. And I looked at what she was doing, like even Muhammad Ali, who was the greatest fighter ever lived. He was trained. He had to be trained in some incidents in what in some blows he needed to throw, and then change some things about him being the great, how he became the greatest. So sometimes we got to listen to other people, even though you're passionate about where you live, you're passionate about your income, you're passionate about your fight. Sometimes we just have to listen, because even the Bible tells us, sometimes be slow to speak, but quick to listen, because you might learn something listening. And that's what we don't do as people. We're so easy to defend something right away that we've heard without giving a person the opportunity to finish it. And that's the way you communicate. I love how she communicates. She don't debate back and forth, because that's a waste of time. Nobody's listening to one another. Nobody's gaining anything. So my advice is, sometimes just listen. And that's what's on my heart right here, because I don't know nothing about the fight.
Good deal. Good deal. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning glow, morning glow, morning glow. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Hey, we got a good one going on this morning, brother. This is a Friday conversation. You know how we do on Fridays, man. And we have quite a few people that's actually come on, that gracing us and blessing us with their presence, man. Corey here and Miss Cara, man. And we're talking about the black farmers, man. We talk about the situation and the plight that they're going through right now, the difficulties that they're going through and having to maintain. And there's a lot of people out there that's actually doing a lot of different things, almost as if they're trying to make sure that they do not maintain. And that's the discussion that we're having this morning. What's on your heart, brother?
Right here, and I've been listening to this conversation, right? And it always, y'all forgive me, I had a show last night, so my voice is kind of in and out. It always amazes me how information can be cherry-picked. I've been involved in politics since Ronald Reagan. And the issue with the black farmers have been going on since Ronald Reagan. But it's amazing to me how, from what I heard, this issue is pinpointed at one administration. It is amazing to me how this issue, some kind of way, got pinpointed at one country, and one country being used as the whipping board to then justify opinions and misdoings, right? It's amazing to me how we as a people can be so narrow-sighted that we can't see why certain things happen. That is amazing to me. I have been in those situations where I was overseas. My whole job was to guard an air base. It wasn't ours. But the story was, according to the SCAT, or according to what they would read in the stiff, is if they murder this guy right here, all of this region is going to go bananas. So he must be protected. It's amazing to me how sometimes we as a people can get so narrow-sighted that we only see what is directly in front of us. And we don't see past one block. We don't see on the other side of town. So I don't know a lot about the farmer situation, but I do know that there has been some strides made. Now, was it enough? No. And to be honest, some of the strides that was made towards the black farmers it's not the allocation of funding, it's the misappropriation of funding.
Yeah.
And that money was handled, get me now, because I didn't hear this mentioned. That money was handled just like the money in Mississippi with Brett Favre and them. Just like the welfare money that was supposed to go to them 350,000 people that was denied that help. That money went to people who wouldn't qualify for welfare. Man.
Good deal.
So sometimes, go ahead, because I know you got a lot of people on here.
No, wrap it up, brother. Wrap up your thought real quickly.
Okay. Sometimes we pull at the lowest hanging fruit, not realizing that the best fruit is at the top of the tree.
That's good.
It's people stealing their money, Raheem.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would not doubt that or speak against that at all. I was gonna use one of them fancy words, but I'm just gonna say at all. That's a fancy word today. We're gonna chalk it up. Look, Corey, we're gonna chop it up as a fancy word today. How about that? Let me go back to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I'm enjoying the information, and as an activist, I would be very much willing to assist in any way that an activist would be. But I have issues with the individual's case.
Why is that?
And how it's being pursued.
Why is that?
Well, because the court has been very clear on why they are not granting that injunction. If you grant that injunction, I'm assuming would hurt other black farmers as well, wouldn't it?
No.
But other black farmers wouldn't receive any funding had this injunction been given to you, right?
It almost sounds like you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna go to him and let him respond to it. We only got a few more minutes, but it almost sounds as though you're saying this. His fight is self-motivating.
He is using a racist tactic. Being according to the definition of the socially disadvantaged farmer, it's all because of race, and that looks to be inside of issues related with COVID. And I think that's where I'm missing him, because he has to prove that all the farmers that he represents are suffering the same injury for the same reason, and that is extremely difficult.
Can I answer this for Mr.
And
Hicks
so
over there?
if only 2 or 3 people in a group of 100 have the problem, it's going to be hard to say you're representing a group of people who all have been disenfranchised for the same reason.
Okay. Now this is what we're gonna do. Everybody keep your, because we already over. It's 10:04. We're supposed to be out here at 10 o'clock, but I'm gonna go just a little bit further. Everybody keep your comments very brief and directly to the point. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, brother?
Great conversation. I learned a whole lot. I really learned a whole lot. It's been very, very, very effective for me. But I can't. It's not like I think he's making this situation political. It is political. He's dealing with the law to get legislation to change things politically. And when he point out the facts, the history, the facts, I mean, listen, the facts about Biden, his history is there for everybody to see. He called him a racist, and he is. His history say he is. And we do have, the Democratic Party have more black people involved in it, where they get in the back rooms when it's time to make legislation. They do what they did to get in the party. They bow to whatever the wishes is. And the wishes could be anything. We ain't gonna call a man no more. Okay, we'll go with that. We're gonna do this, and they just go with everything. And they're not. I think the one point there, and being an independent, which is my whole thing, a critical, independent thinking. Whoever we vote for, they need to promise to give us something, and we hold them to task with that. We need to get honest people that look at the facts. We don't need people that's dishonest, that steal money, and that you can see it, and just deny because he's on your team. It's back to that thing about sports, right? I always love sports. I love sportsmanship. I want to win fair and square. I don't like the cheaters. I mean, that's the whole idea. And the thing is, if the guy's on my team and he's wrong, I'm gonna tell him that. I'm not gonna cover up just because we're on the same team or we both black. That's how I went through that period. You black, you're supposed to think this way. You're supposed to be like this here. No, I'm calling the way I see it. I want to see things fairly. That's what my belief tells me. It tells me not to put my hand on the scale. To be okay, my minute, I'm out.
Mr. Hicks, you won't find it. You won't find it, brother. Hold on.
Truth hurts.
Hold on. Now, Mr. Hicks, you just say your time's up and you stop it. There you go again. God almighty, what I'm gonna do with you? Corey, talk to me, brother. 1 minute.
So, okay. First, I want to thank you for having this discussion. And even though that I may not agree with some of the things that have been said, you got to think I only had several minutes to paint a lifetime or paint the history of Black farmers and ranchers as it relates to this country. And so the reason why we were pointing out this administration, because the last few acts that were designed to help the situation, they, as Ms. Boyd explained, they doubled down on it when they found out it wasn't going to be popular with the white farmers, and they're doing it in order to get votes from the white farmers because white farmers traditionally sided with Republicans. So what they figured is because Black people are, they're a gimme for the party, their votes are a gimme of a party, then we can do what we want because they're going to vote for us anyway. That's not how this should work. And again, I forgot the young lady's name. I would love for her to be on part of another panel. And, I don't need to know what you say beforehand, but just please consider my point of view that when you talked about the Claims Remedy Act, go back and look at that. That never was passed into law. And I probably shouldn't use the tone that I use with you, but also when you're saying stuff like this, there are people out there listening, and unless I sound it, they're going to say they're going to think it's
that an apology. Was that an apology?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure what I was hearing. I'd like to be clear on what I'm hearing. Cookie, what's on your heart, real briefly?
Again, just because we say something, that doesn't make it so. That's very important. And sometimes we have to extract our feelings and deal with facts, so that we'll be sure that what we're presenting is fair and uniform across the board. No matter the passion that we approach a subject with, that never negates the necessity for politeness, for respect, and for common decency in a dialogue. If you wish to present your message to the public, it has to be presented in a way that is palatable and fair and just across the board. And with all due respect, sir, thank you for the invitation, but I would have to respectfully decline.
Okay. Wow. Okay. We're about to get out of here. Anybody have anything else they want to say before we get out of here? Anybody got anything on the heart? I'm trying to go to Cassandra. Cassandra, you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I called you, ain't answering. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do with you?
Okay.
What's on your heart, sis?
No, I want to applaud Ms. Boyd, because boy, just the fact that she said somebody called her and told her that they was not so much talking about her husband, but that's the way I'm gonna put it. They were talking about your husband, and she got on the phone and she spoke truth. She spoke truth. She didn't raise no fuss like I would. I probably would have said a couple of cuss words or something. I don't know, Ms. Boyd. I may have. But you so eloquently stated the facts that I love you. Anything I can do to help, I'm in Atlanta. Anything I can do to help the cause, please let me know. Of course, I'm not a Black farmer, but my grandfather was. I started working on farms when I was 7, 8 years old. So I get it. So the fight is real. Please know that you are appreciated. Mr. What's the other man's name?
Corey.
Oh yeah, Mr. Corey. Maybe it was just your approach, you know, and the fact that you made it so political. And you can say that it wasn't political, but it was, because you're pitting, you know, Biden against Trump, which 0.1% during your entire administration to help Black farmers. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there. 0.1% help the farmers during Trump's administration.
Wow. Okay.
That's what the statistics say.
Let me see, can I get Mr. Lawrence in here? Mr. Lawrence, I know you don't have a video, but are you there? We might be able to hear you. Mr. Lawrence, are you there? Lawrence Lucas? Okay, Mr. Lawrence didn't even turn his microphone on, Lord Jesus. Okay, Mr. Lawrence. Anybody else have anything they want to say? It's actual time for us to get out of here. We gotta what we do before we leave. But anybody else have anything they want to say before we get out of here?
I do. I have one thing to say.
Oh Lord,
the comments that Cassandra made was a little bit more towards my comment, because one, I'm all on board with supporting the plight of the Black farmer. However, the Black farmer needs to understand you are not our majority. And so you're going to have to come across a little better than that, because we're not foolish. For those of us who are not farmers, what do we have to gain? What do we have to gain? But we have to vote. But you want us to vote for you in opposition to all the other things that we need. So if you want us to support you, you have to make it so that we all understand what it is that you would like for us to do to support you. Because that's what I do. So if I have to go and talk to whomever, if I have to do petitions to ask for somebody to be removed, is your issue with those people running the USDA who has been proven to be biased, who have already lost a discrimination lawsuit? Okay. I don't understand why that's separate from what you're trying to do, really.
Let me say this. And everybody, I say this on here all the time. I'm not here to give anybody their opinion. Everybody have their own opinion. And that's like I have my own. And so I'm not here to do that. That's not what I do. I give everybody the opportunity to say what's on their heart. And I ask the question in that way, what's on your heart? But I think, and this is me talking, I think every element is a piece of the puzzle. I think every element and everybody is a piece of the puzzle. And if we're going to put that puzzle together effectively, we have to all deal with everything that's inclusive in putting that puzzle together. The Black farmers are certainly a piece of the puzzle as well. And so if we're putting that puzzle together and we leave that element out, we're going to have a void in that particular part of the puzzle, which is going to be incomplete. I do agree that we have to come together. We have to come together with our minds and our efforts in order to make a positive difference and a positive impact. We have to do that. But I don't think it includes, and this wasn't said, and I'm just saying this for me. Nobody said this, but I'm not saying that I'm saying that we cannot leave any element out. We have to deal with all of it in the way that it should be dealt with. But everything is a piece of the puzzle. Let's put the whole puzzle together. Let's do this. I'm gonna go to Corey one whole minute. Let's talk solutions, brother. What are the solutions? And how can people get in contact with you?
Okay, to my solution, and based on what was just said, it's like the Black farmers' cause was basically, if I interpret this right, it's not the cause of all of Black America. So if we are eradicated, then what's going to stop them from doing that same thing to you next? Because what has happened is, I think we all can agree that generational wealth is tied directly to real property, whether it's just a house on a lot or whether it's a farm. But that's how generational wealth is passed on. And so if they get all the land, the 2.3 million acres is left, then what's next? The urban gardener? Was that, then the people that are in the projects, they want to get rid of that? You got to understand, what they don't see is Black farmers. They see Black people. And they know the way that they can control us. And that now, if we're eradicated, some people will buy just from Black farmers, whether it's organic or not. Well, if we can't control anything that's essential to us to survive, then how do we ever expect to survive? This has been a plan for the last 400 years to make sure that we're feckless. And they're doing one heck of a job doing it. And so, yes, this, like Raheem said, we're all pieces of the puzzle. But if you don't stand with us, then why would you expect us to stand with you on matters that we thought was crazy as all get out, but we'll do it anyway just because it's for the betterment of Black America? And I'll leave it right there.
Good deal. How can people get in contact with you if they wanted to reach out to you, brother?
Okay, my number is 615.
You sure you want to get your number out there like that now? You know?
Yeah, I don't care, man. I'm either gonna hang up on you or listen to you.
Go ahead.
It's 615-308-7787. Again, it's 615-308-7787. Or you can go on my website at cowtownfoundation.org. Again, it's cowtownfoundation.org. I'd like to hear from any of you. I'll answer any questions or give you my thoughts. You might not like it, but that's what I'll do.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, Leonard, we've been on here ever since 7 o'clock this morning. It's now, 10:16. Somebody came on here, man, about 9 o'clock, 8:30, whatever it was, and said, man, I wish I could have heard that whole broadcast. Man, I missed a piece of it, and I want to hear all of it. Leonard, how could they hear it? Is it possible for them to hear it in their entirety?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern today.
Good deal. Good deal. Willow!
I was waiting for
you was waiting on me, Willow.
I was waiting on you, Brian, because this here was a little bit out of my lane.
Hey, but like I say, hey, that's what we do on here, man. We keep it going. We want to talk about it and have the discussions, and that's what we do. We have the discussions, and we don't always agree. We don't always agree. But at the end of the day, you know, in order to be successful or to get where you need to get, you gotta have the conversation. That's why I say we gotta have the dialogue, and that's why, you know, it's very important that we come together and have the dialogue and speak to each other, not at each other, around each other, but speak to each other. But Willa, I need to know: are you ready? Are you really ready, though?
Raheem, I'm ready. You know, Raheem, I'm ready. I'm gonna get ready to go on a 10-day vacation on a cruise to Belize.
Good Lord.
And I'm ready.
Good Lord. To Belize, man. Yeah, you sound like you're about to do it.
I'm packed. I want to go. I want to go.
See, you get.
Mr. Take me. The cruise ship all filled up.
Lord.
Yes,
well, Willa,
I'm ready right here.
Well, you know, Willa, if you're ready, you know today is Friday now. You know today is Friday. So I'm only gonna say one thing to you. Willa. You know what that is? Let's go.
Amen. Nothing like laughter, y'all. Nothing like laughter. Father, we thank you, oh Lord. We thank you. Thank you for waking us up, oh Lord. Giving us a chance to talk and discuss things on one accord, Lord. Father, we thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and to give us another chance to commune one to another. Lord, we thank you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Father, we're petitioning to you today, oh Lord, that whatever struggle it is that we are going through as your children, Lord, Father, we need you. We need you in a mighty way. The fight is continually going on, Lord, but we know that you will get the victory. Father, we set it up on your plate. We set it around you because, Father, we know that you already know. You just want to hear our motives, see our thoughts. You want to make sure that it lines up with an honest will, Father, because you've given us the free will to make the choices in our lives, oh Lord. So we thank you right now We thank you right now in the name of Jesus, Lord. Keep continuing to mold us, shape us into our purpose, oh Lord. Father, we thank you. I'm asking you, oh Lord, to keep protecting, Lord, and keep allowing that Holy Spirit to dwell in our lives, to manifest us to our purpose, Lord. Keep allowing the angels to be encamped around all of us, oh Lord, because we need you in this evil and wicked world. We love you, Lord. We praise you and we honor you, oh Lord. Father, we thank you. Thank you for setting that path under our feet, oh Lord, leading us, guiding us, directing us with wisdom, with understanding. Father, thank you for the morning, Lord. Thank you for each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Touch them, oh Lord. Touch them, oh Lord, and keep them anointed through your word, Lord. Father, thank you for the anointing. We receive it. Thank you for Raheem. Thank you for his family, oh Lord. Father, we love you. We lift you up and give you the highest praise of hallelujah. In Jesus' name. Amen, amen, amen. It's already sealed. It's already sealed on each and every last one of us.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Be safe. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Corey, did we do you good, brother?
Man, it was great. It was great. But you ain't off the doggone hook yet, my man. we have to get the message out to Black America, and this was a great platform. I really enjoyed that. Willie, is it Mr. Hicks back there? That was my man back there.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, we're about to get out of here, man. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity, brother, to have this conversation and this dialogue with you. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
So let's do it again soon.
Yes, sir. Let's make it happen.
Thank you, man.
And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now, 10:23. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Then we shine some of this light in you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. See you Monday morning if God says the same.